everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you at McMorran Place in historic downtown Port Huron. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Is it time to push the panic button for the Port Huron Prowlers? They have lost 5 straight games, and if they lose again tonight, they will drop to 500, 11 on the season. But they are trying to snap out of that. Different goaltender in net, different lineup. We will show you all of that coming up on the pregame show next. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHB Network. Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorran experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
From Prowlers hockey, it's presented by shot. Welcome back to McMorran Place. We are just about set to go for this Saturday night matchup between the Prowlers and the Indiana Sentinels. Once again, my name's Will Wiggleman, here to take you through it this evening as the Prowlers and Sentinels wrap up a 2-game weekend set. Prowlers will be wearing their holiday-themed uniforms tonight after they did not make it in time for last night's game. The jerseys are ready. They're here. We'll give you some nice close-ups of those as our show moves along. But first, let's take a look back at last night's game. Take a look back at the highlights real quick for the Prowlers. And they got off to a real hot start. Jamie Bussell scored the Teddy Bear toss goal just about 2.5 minutes into the game. And the Bears hit the ice from the stands and from the broadcast booth. Yeah, that made it. Little assist from Matt Graham on the bench. But it was 1-0 Prowlers early. Austin Federley made it 2-0 Prowlers. Things started to fall apart, though, from there as the physical play ramped up. Heads up, ref. Line change. But the physicality, again, ramped up from the Prowlers side, and that led to some penalties. Now, those 2 hits were clean. This was a clean hit, but that was not what Reggie Millette did, shooting Marian Pazika's glove away from him. And the Sentinels got some power play goals, ended up taking the lead. Alex Johnson tied the game right there, but Indiana would end up getting the win 4-3. And that is their 3rd win this season. All 3 have come on the road, 2 of them here at McMorran Place. Denver Craig and Ethan Esposito, a goal and an assist apiece, while Johnson added an assist to his goal. And you saw the 2 assists there from Reggie Millette as well. So Prowlers now on a 5-game losing streak and struggling in all facets right now. It's been a tough sledding for the Port Huron Prowlers over these past few weeks, and tonight feels like a must-win. It's early in the season to talk about must-wins, but tonight feels like one of those games that they have to gain some confidence back and get themselves, back into the win column and get back to playing Prowlers hockey. So we'll see what they're able to do tonight. Let's see where they are in the standings here in the Empire Division. Somehow still in 2nd place, although Topeka's right there. Danbury is now right there as well. Blue Ridge is within shouting distance, so that it's tightened up after the Prowlers started the season 11-5, and now sitting at 11-10, much closer to 500 than they would like to be. So again, 3 points tonight is important because the Scarecrows are right behind them and trying to push their way up to 2nd place in the division. Let's take a look at some players to watch here for tonight's game. Starting on the Indiana side, they have a new player here tonight. It's Dalton Anderson, who briefly was a Port Huron Prowler during the 2023-24 season. but he comes after his release from Biloxi. 2 points in 10 games for Anderson as a breaker this year. Last season for the Mississippi Seawolves, he led them with 18 goals in 56 games. On the other side for the Prowlers, the man that's going to try and stop Anderson from getting his first goal with Indiana is Bailey Huber. That is Reed Cooper, but Bailey Huber will be in net tonight for the Prowlers, as Cooper got the start last night, took the loss, but Huber, the last time that he faced the Indiana Sentinels, 22 saves on 24 shots. And he got the victory. That was on Thanksgiving Eve. And that was the last time the Prowlers won here at home, and they'll try to get themselves another home win here tonight. Let's take a look at the lineup for tonight's game, and a lot of mixing up the forward lines tonight. Austin Fairley drops back to defense, so the Prowlers will play with 6 defensemen tonight the whole game. Fairley did drop back midway through the game last night, but now officially will play defense from start to finish, with Ben Brockway still out of the lineup. But the Prowlers trying to reunite the line of Matt Graham, Reggie Millette, and Lucas Lockney. They are the top line tonight. Jamie Bucell plays between Bobby Price and Blake Anderson, who started on Graham's wings last night, and the rest of the forward unit staying the same. So nobody in that was out last night. And Bailey Huber, of course, starting in net tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers. Well, the Prowlers and Meyer are partnering for the Goals for Good program during the 2025-26 season. For every goal the Prowlers score, Meyer will donate money to help deliver meals to families in need. So far this season, the Prowlers and Meyer have helped to deliver 3,600 meals to families in need in our community. Such a great initiative that the Prowlers and Meyer have come together to be a part of this season. The projectors are on the ice, and the show has begun. And you know that means it's almost time for Prowlers hockey. And we did want to give you another look at this on-ice show, so we will take you down to ice level for the rest of the on-ice show ahead of tonight's game between the Prowlers and the Indiana Sentinels.
Let's welcome to the ice, the Prowlers Spirit.
And again, that is the current show here at McMorran Place. Again, it changes all the time, so be sure to come out and experience that on-ice show, because again, it's so much better in person than it is here, or than it is on your TV screen. So get your tickets at phprowlers.com/tickets and make sure that you are here in the building to watch that in-arena show and everything cool that we've been able to do with the projection, that new on-ice projection system this season. Take you back down to ice level and public address announcer, Austin Dunn.
For your Port Huron Prowlers! Somebody scream! Orthopedic Associates starting lineup. On defense, number 2, Nick Favaro. On defense, number 25, Alex Johnson. At forward, number 51, Matt Graham. Forward, number 77, Lucas Lockney. And forward, number 79, Reggie Malek. And in goal, number 39, Bailey Huber. The head coach of the Prowlers is Matt Graham. Associate head coach Chris Paulin and assistant coach Alex Johnson. Athletic trainers Bridget Smith, presented by Port Huron and Journal Medicine Associates. Equipment managers Brian Larson and Ken Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, may we suggest removing your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, presented by Dairy Queen by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Emily Gowdy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Emily Gowdy on the anthem tonight here at McMorran Place. Prowlers and Sentinels getting set to get underway for the second time this weekend. Prowlers hoping to snap a 5-game losing skid, and they're sending the top guys out to start tonight's game. Lucas Lockney, Matt Graham, Reggie Millette up front, Alex Johnson and Nick Favaro on the back end. And Bailey Huber, the rookie between the pipes, trying to pick up his second win against the Sentinels this season. Let's take a look at our starting goaltending matchup as we get a ceremonial puck drop here. And it's Huber against John Werber, couple of rookies going head-to-head. Werber starting the 7th straight game for the Indiana Sentinels here tonight. Meanwhile, Huber, his first start since the Prowlers were in Topeka a couple of weeks ago. The Sunday game against the Scarecrows. He was fantastic in that game, but the Prowlers ended up falling 2-1. His last win came against these Sentinels here at McMorran Place on Thanksgiving Eve. Prowlers again wearing those special holiday-themed jerseys that they were hoping would come in last night. Did not get in yesterday in time, but now they're here. They look amazing, and some lucky fans will be going home with those during the post-game jersey auction here in the arena. Reggie Millette had a couple of assists for the Prowlers last night. We'll see if he can continue to drive the offense as he has during this losing streak. We'll see if it can translate to a win here tonight. We're underway from McMorran Place. Thanks so much for joining us on the PHP Network. Marian Pazika slips it out to an area as he took a hard hit from Matt Graham. Pazika has it back, slid it ahead to Ethan Esposito, off to Denver Craig. Craig, a long shot off the back glass over top of the net, and back the other way come the Prowlers. Graham off to Lockney, quick shot, stopped by Werber, and it sat right in front of him before he scooped it up for a whistle and a face-off. Now Craig and Esposito, the two guys that went up ice for Indiana on that last rush, a goal and an assist last night for each of them. Although Craig's goal could be argued should have been credited to Esposito. First shift on the ice for Dalton Anderson, the newest member of the Indiana Sentinels. He's wearing number 29 in white. Wearing number 29 in red with the puck right now is Bobby Price. Had it taken away by Terrain. Rimmed up high to Austin Federley. Oregon walks down the boards, off to the net, miss, wrap chance, and it slipped right across the goal line as Bucell tried to wrap it around. Price pulls it off the wall, turnaround shot, save Werber. He looked back, but he had it. The scouting report, it seemed last night on John Werber, was shoot to the blocker's side. That's where Jamie Bucell and Austin Federley had success from long range on zone entries. See if the Prowlers continue that as the third line out there right now. Bazal, DeCumbis, and Artu Heikkila. Horn tried to make a pass that was taken away neatly by Heikkila, but Pavlov came in to take it back. Horn all the way across the zone. DeCumbis bumped it ahead to Heikkila. Tried to keep it moving for Bazal. Max Tortorella tried to bounce it back. One-timer Lockhart right into the glove of Werber. He dropped it. Bazal came in, was the first one on it. DeCumbis trying to continue the cycle, but he took a hit. And up comes Horn. He'll dump it in, and the Sentinels get a wholesale change. Lockhart, lead pass looking for Millette. He tipped it into the offensive zone, heads after it with Pazika. Given right away to Lockney. Graham behind the net, centered out in front, came all the way to the point. Favaro, catch and shoot, and Werber has it in the breadbasket. Good energy early from the Prowlers, already up on shots 4-0, and making John Werber work. Of course, last night it was the start that was good for the Prowlers, as everything else that was not so good. So we'll see if they can continue it throughout this game. Colin Tracy, chased by Graham, left it behind the net for Terrain. Rims it up this way to Denver Craig. Got it out of the zone, Favaro. Tried to pass it ahead, couldn't do it. Bavaro able to outmuscle Craig, but here's Esposito with a steal on the backhand off the side of the net. Esposito up high. Tracy let it go, deflected, they score! Craig right in front, got a touch on it, and the Sentinels open the scoring. One of the hottest Sentinels right now, Craig with a 6-game point streak now on his 4th goal of the year. And just a filtered shot by Tracy, and Craig changed the direction of it right in front of Huber. 1 shot, 1 goal for the Sentinels to begin this one. After all the pressure from the Prowlers in the first few shifts. Ashton Collazo off the glass, kept in by Bazal with the glove. Hakala turns it on net, and a glove save by Werber. Tracy and Esposito get the assists. Tracy, his first point as an Indiana Sentinel. Esposito now has an assist in 5 of his last 6. Federley at the point, wrists it through, punched out by Werber. Pavlov spins back, looking for some room. Decumbis in on the forecheck, able to cause a misplayed puck. Moved up this way, and Oregon dumps it back down deep. Anderson, a quick shot over top of the net. Price to Blake Anderson. Waiting for help off the bench. Bucell unloads, and another blocker save by Werber. Bucell spinning off a check. Anderson with a steal behind the cage. It is passed to the point, interrupted by Pavlov's stick. Anderson just did keep it in at the blue line. Dawson able to bank it out. Lockhart steps past Dawson, chips it off the glass. Price after it. Poked around, Anderson wheeling up high, tried to sweep it to Lockhart. Instead, Price down low, and Anderson grabs it again in the corner. Switched to the glass by Ponovanov. Bucell to the middle. Lockney's one-timer held onto by Werber. Prowlers continuing to pressure and continuing to push here. 3:45 gone in period 1, but they are trailing 1-0. Referees tonight are Steve Gowdy and Adam Fish. The linesmen Dallas Mitchell and Brandon Baitens, as Werber has to fix his pad here before we're able to drop the puck. As you can see, tonight's game is presented by Mobility Remodelers and the Port Huron host Lions Club. They are partnering with the Prowlers for Hockey Fights Hunger, and through the Lions Club, all the non-perishable food donations collected tonight will go to the Blue Water Area Rescue Mission. So another great cause that the Prowlers are supporting tonight. Here's Tortorella with a quick shot, kicked out by Huber. Rebound came right out to the slot, and now Millette skates into the puck. Tracy able to knock it away. Johnson, lead pass looking for Graham. Tipped in, Terrain retrieves in his own end. Bounced around in Shaheen's direction, got through him. Oregon, D to Federley. Tap pass back to Lockney, was whacked away by Tracy. And Huber will clamp the glove on top of the dump in, then he moved it, but Craig the first one on it. So the Sentinels stay on the attack here. Pops to Bazal. Off to Hakala, into the offensive end. Hakala throws on the break, shot blocked. Comes right back to Artu Hakala. Lockhart pinches in, tried to put it on net. That hit Hippolyte Smith. Bazal trying to push through some checks, cycles it down low. Decumbis grabs the loose puck, looking towards Bazal, that was knocked away. Craig able to bounce it past Parsons, trying to head back after it, but Lockhart wins the race. trying to turn right back up ice. Hakala for Parsons, hard off the glass and all the way down. No icing here, so Werber will stop it for Ponovanov. Prowlers complete a change. Pavlov had some trouble with it. Centering feed. Anderson was right there on the back door. Sent back on net. And a save made by Werber. Horn cuts off the low to high pass. Dawson off the back wall. Johnson finds it, steps away from Horn. Try to flip it ahead, hit Anderson. That's Dalton Anderson. Horn looking in front and blocked by Favaro on a knee. Favaro taken down and a penalty coming up. Prowlers will go to the power play when we come back. 1-0 Sentinels here on the PHP Network.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll say, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Hello, I'm home. There he is. What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch? Spicy. Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Back here in Port Huron, Prowlers trailing the Sentinels 1-0. Tonight's washed-up player of the game is Ivan Ponovanov, a Sentinels defenseman, presented by Chippewa Laundromat. Chippewa Laundromat is Port Huron's only multi-generational laundromat. Prowlers getting a power play here as a tripping penalty went against Zach Horn in the offensive zone. So the last ranked power play in the FPHL, dead last at 10.7%, will go to work after an 0 for 4 night last night. Sentinels PK, 8th in the league at 79.3%. Off this face-off, Jamie Bucell tries to work up high as Prowlers start with the second unit on this man advantage. Federley walks the blue line off to Price. Switches spots. Anderson steps in, drops it off for Price. On goal and bounced back by Pavlov. Ponovanov turns and claps it down ice. Huber with Tortorella right on him. Played it around for Anderson. Blake Anderson wheeling ahead. Anderson around Terrain. Anderson in front looking for Price. And it didn't get all the way to him. Sent back on net, steered aside by Werber. Price grabs the loose puck, sweeps it high to Bucell. Walks the blue line, off to Price. Works downhill, tried to get it to Anderson. Pass too hot to handle. Bucell. Federley. Down in the corner, past the midway point of this Prowlers power play. Anderson, Bucell, one-timer kicked out by Werber. Anderson around the net. Tried to slide it to Graham, who was fresh off the bench. And now Collazo has a chance shorthanded. Collazo's in, save Huber, and he knocked the rebound away from Hippolyte Smith. Big stop from Bailey Hubers. The Prowlers trying to complete a change here. Floated all the way down. And Favaro grabs it there. Just 22 seconds left on the Port Huron man advantage. Favaro. Right wing side, it's Millette. Throws on the brakes. Back to Favaro. Millette, Favaro, one-timer. And caught by Werber. Horan set to step out of the box in 2 seconds. And the Prowlers need to be aware of that. Last night they gave up the game-winning goal after Ivan Ponovanov stepped out of the penalty box and ended up with a breakaway. Prowlers with 2 shots on this man advantage right now. Off the face-off, Sentinels win it. Favaro backs out and makes sure that Horn was accounted for. Here is Horn with it, working on Johnson. Outside try, missed the net. Caroms all the way to Millette. Pazika takes over. Kicked back to Marian Pazika, and now it's Ponovanov. Changes going on both benches. Esposito, rink-wide feed. Craig skates into it. Craig to the net, gloved and held by Bailey Huber. Huber had to make a big save on that Prowlers power play. Ashton Collazo got the short-handed opportunity. But still a 1-0 game. Just over 8 minutes gone in the opening frame. John Werber already up to 13 saves in the first 8 minutes and change. Actually, they've taken away one of the Prowlers shots, so 12 saves right now for Werber. Luke James, getting his first action of the night, steps around terrain. James left it behind the net for Bazal. Trying to spin away from Tracy. Bazal gets through the hit. Kept at the line by Organ right on net. Save Werber, then Tracy grabs James, who gave Werber a nice snow shower. Colin Tracy is going to the box. I don't know if Luke James will join him. One shift, one penalty drawn for Luke James. There's the nice snow shower, and Tracy right after James. And the Prowlers will go back to the power play, their second of this game. And that's one of the things you get from Luke James, is that pestiness that can draw penalties. Here's Price down low, but a penalty is coming up, and I think the Prowlers may have just evened this up. Looks like Artu Hakala to the box as he got tangled up with a Sentinel. Interference is the call, and that kills the Prowlers power play just as soon as it begins. Let's take another look. Hakala is on the left side of your screen here. And they say that's enough. He just got in the way of Tortorella, who was trying to go out to the point. So Hakala in the box, we'll get some 4-on-4 action. Denver Craig just sends it on goal and he scores. Huber wasn't ready for it, and Craig has his second of the period. Let's take another look, and Craig at the point through some traffic, and it looked like it surprised Huber. Denver Craig continues on the tear offensively that he's been on. Reggie Millette tried to draw a penalty right off that face-off. He won't get it. And we continue as Johnson looks to wheel ahead. He had his pocket picked, and then Millette steps into Craig. Johnson looking to move out, got it to Lockney, in with speed. Lockney off to Federley on the outside, shoots it on net, and an easy glove stop for Werber. Here's that face-off. Millette tried to draw a penalty there on Craig, who threw his shoulder into him. And then Millette came back and had a response for Denver Craig. Nick Favaro dumps it around. Price got it back behind the net. Pazika takes over there. Oregon pinching in to grab the puck. Let it go through. Bucell sends it down to where Oregon is. Price with a steal. Price trying to shake loose of Esposito. Ripped it up to Bucell. Trying to spin away from Pizzico, who knocked the puck out of the zone. Bucell gets in, but he's surrounded. Jonas Lias the other way. Muscled off by Bucell. Lias chips it in, and all 4 Sentinels go off for a change. Oregon right through center, up to James, has Anderson going to the net. Sent it down to the corner for Anderson to grab. Blake Anderson steps out. And nobody at the point. Prowlers are in the midst of a change. James grabs it all the way across to Lockhart on the blue line. Sent right back down low, got through James and Pavlov. Pavlov finished his check on James. Puck wasn't near either of them, but here comes Collazo into the offensive zone on the backhand, swallowed up by Huber. And we'll get a whistle and a timeout as both teams back to full strength here. 2-0 Indiana. We'll be right back on the PHP Network.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers trailing the Sentinels by a score of 2-0. And you take a look there at the special holiday-themed jerseys the Prowlers are wearing this evening. Special Christmas design. They have like a reindeer logo on the front. And one of the awesome specialty jerseys. I think they're very, very clean. And they will be auctioned off tonight at the end of the game to some lucky fans. Face-off coming deep in the Prowlers' end. Tossed out, and Ponovanov had it knocked down by Hakala. Gazal sent it down deep. Decumbis slips past the check. And Decumbis turns it on goal, and Werber able to jump on top and get a whistle. John Werber may be the MVP of this opening period so far. He's had a great start to this game, and really the reason that his team isn't behind right now. The Prowlers certainly could have put up at least 1 or 2 goals before the Sentinels even got a shot on net. Prowlers trying to keep pushing here. Graham and Hippolyte-Smith, the 2 number 51s in the dot. Navarro on goal, blocked by traffic. Johnson finds it. And Hippolyte-Smith tied him up, didn't let him get a shot away. This one sent all the way down for an icing. We had a whistle and a face-off. I think Reggie Millette actually passed that off to Alex Johnson. He just hesitated for a moment, and that allowed Hippolyte-Smith to come back and tie him up. You got another good look there at those specialty holiday-themed jerseys Prowlers are wearing tonight. Terrain for Craig, trying to move ahead. Already is 2 in the period. Johnson lifted his stick. Graham had it poked away by Hippolyte Smith. Craig right in on Huber, who sticks it to the corner. Millette takes a look. Ducks away from Hippolyte Smith. Now we'll go back behind the net. And Reggie Millette revs the engines. Millette all the way through, end to end. Had it knocked off his stick. He'll backhand it around towards Graham. Keeps it moving to the point. Federley, the delayed penalty coming up against Indiana. Sentinels touch up, and we'll get the third Prowlers power play of this first period. Colin Tracy back to the box for the second time. We'll see if Port Huron's man advantage can get its stuff together on the third chance of the game. Tracy in the box for boarding. Werber with a quick cover. And we'll get another face-off deep in his end. Prowlers seem to be leaning heavily on this unit of Bucell, Hakela, Anderson, Price, and Federley, rather than their top unit. At least in this game, just trying to find something to get the man advantage working. Players digging away, and finally it's sent down towards Huber. Austin Federley. To the left wing side, Price. Ahead to Anderson. His shot stopped. Rebound was available. Price overskated it. Federley settles things down. Off to Anderson. Wrist shot blocked by Panovanov. Anderson again turns towards the net, and his pass down low also blocked by Ivan Panovanov. And the Sentinels clear. Prowlers switching up the unit here. 1:10 now left to go in their power play. Favaro for Lockney. Ahead towards Millette. Collazo got his stick in the way. Still got to Reggie Millette. Here's Graham dropping it off to Millette. Favaro steps in. Lockney gave it back. Millette one-timer just a bit outside. Favaro kept it alive only for a moment. And here comes Hippolyte Smith with a shorthanded chance. He shoots, and a save by Huber. Another big shorthanded save from Bailey Huber, his second of this period. Pazika tried to clap it up the boards. Millette was waiting for it. Sets across to Favaro. Tried to go down low, popped up in the air, Terrain on his backhand, sends it all the way down. Huber leaves the puck for Austin Federley fresh off the bench. Prowlers power play almost over. Price ran into Pavlov. Lias up the boards. Parsons couldn't keep it in as Tracy came out of the box to make sure that puck got out of the zone. Given away by Werber, and Price couldn't wrap it home. Parsons sent a pass that went off a stick and up out of play. Had a great chance there for Bobby Price as John Werber had a Prowler on each side of him, and he tried to play it, and Price with an opportunity. Let's take another look. Watch Price there. Werber had no idea he was coming, and it was either Werber or Panovanov who took it off of Price's stick and prevented an easy wraparound goal. Moved around to this side to Cumbus. Down towards Bazal. Trying to spin off of Panovanov. It's rimmed up the boards. Oregon gets it back down deep. Bazal. Bounced up high, Federley let it go. Kick save by Werber. And it comes out to Oregon. Sent it through, and another stop. Hakela grabs the puck. Hakela dangles. Throws on the brakes and lost the handle. Pouring on his backhand, didn't get much on it. Esposito got it out of the zone. Here comes Craig, wheeling in, and his shot off of Federley. Oregon skates up. Had to make a move to the middle. Prowlers in the midst of a change, so Oregon will just get to the red line and dump it around. Shaheen tried to pop it off the boards for Horn. Kozika looking to skate into it. Tracy with a drive, punched out by Huber. Shaheen collects in the corner. Tried to center, couldn't do it. Lockney lost it. Pazika in front, save Huber. Or Dawson may have just pushed it wide. Either way, it stays 2-0 as Collazo has to chase back to his own end. So we approach 4 minutes left to go in the first. Johnson all the way ahead. Millette peels back, stepped away from Dawson. Millette right in front of Huber, still controlling, hands off for Favaro. Dumped ahead all the way down, and that is an icing against the Prowlers. We will take our final timeout of this opening period here on the PHP Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys, here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here in Port Huron, it is Hockey Fights Hunger Night. And fans who brought in non-perishable donations got put into a raffle to win that. A custom Prowlers wrapped Yeti cooler stuffed with steaks from Fairway Packaging Company. So thank you to Fairway Packaging Company for the help with that. And again, a custom Prowlers Yeti cooler, 1 of 1. It doesn't get much better than that. Prowlers have had some great giveaways this season. You'll have to be here in the building for the next giveaway. Be sure to check the Prowlers promo schedule and get your tickets at phprowlers.com. There's a centering pass that Huber blocked. Bucell off for Anderson, ahead to Price with a step. Price looking in front for Bucell, blocked by Ponovanov. Lockhart tried to step into a shot, but a penalty coming up. And the Prowlers are going to go shorthanded here. Bucell getting a penalty. You take another look at that chance. Ponovanov got his stick down, and Bucell got too close to Werber. Looks like goalie interference, the call. As Bucell cut right through the crease. So this technically the second power play of the game for the Indiana Sentinels, although their first one was just a few seconds. Goaltender interference indeed is the call against Bucell as Pavlov looks to start ahead. Craig took a bump at the line. Favaro starts to skate with it. And he dumps it all the way down, gloved down by Ponovanov. He's harassed by James. Pavlov waits to start it up behind the net. Pavlov steps out, ahead to Horn. Gets the red line, gets the Prowler blue, and hands off for Craig. Across to Ponovanov, the one-timer, blocked by James, up out of play. Good job by Luke James to get in that shooting lane. That was right off the drop. I believe the Sentinel touched it with a high stick, and that's why all the players were standing around awkwardly near the puck. As Lockhart's clearing attempt, blocked down by Tracy. Federley tried to pitchfork it ahead to Rain for Shaheen. Federley ahead towards Graham, and this time Prowlers able to get it out. 2 minutes left to go in period one. Under a minute left in this Indiana power play. Dalton Anderson getting some time on the man advantage in his Sentinels debut. As Favaro wraps it ahead, and James slides it the length of the ice. Quick up is for Dalton Anderson. Tried to center, that was blocked by Lockhart, who came right off the bench. Tracy across the blue line to Terrain. Loaded down low, Lockhart keeps it away from Shaheen, and he turns and fires it down. Final 10 seconds ticking off of Bucell's penalty. Terrain couldn't bring in the puck. Anderson trying to cause trouble. Esposito moves it ahead right in front of where Bucell was stepping out of the penalty box as the power play is expired for the Sentinels. Bucell cycles it deep as we hit the final minute of period one. James towards Anderson. Back to the point to Parsons. Walks, shoots, blocked by Craig. Anderson. Back up to Parsons once again. D to D. Federley filters it through, and a save made by Werber. Craig chips it off the boards and then ran into Federley. Those two both go down. Puck tipped in by Bucell's. Prowlers make likely their final change of this opening 20 minutes. Pazika chased by Millette. 15 seconds to go. Came out to Lockney. Walks in and fanned on the shot. He's tripped up. Werber on top of the puck. Oh, Lucas Lockney just didn't get anything on that shot. And then a sliding Sentinel took Lockney off his skates. 10.4 seconds to go in this opening period. Take another look as Pazika tried to play it around, I think, and I think it hit Graham. Lockney fanned on the shot, and Werber got on top of it before any of the other two Prowlers down low could get a touch on it. Delayed offsides against the Prowlers, and that will do it for period number one here tonight. And it won't do it for the physicality as Millette and Dawson getting into it. They're all wrapped up. Have to be pried apart by the linesman here. Finally, they're all separated, and teams will be able to head to their locker rooms. Shots in that opening period, 21-11 in favor of the Prowlers, but it's the Sentinels who have a 2-0 lead as Reggie Chance commencing from the crowd here at McMorran Place as Millette skates off with his team. Those 21 shots on net, the second or third most the Prowlers have had in any period this season, but John Werber stopped them all. Coming up on the intermission report here on the PHP Network, we will chat with one of the main sponsors of tonight's game, Jim White from Mobility Remodelers. You see his company's logo on the top right of your screen. He's also part of the Port Huron host Lions Club. So he will give us some good perspective on both Mobility Remodelers and the Lions Club and their involvement in this Hockey Fights Hunger game tonight. Also take a look at some storylines from around the league, the out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. Prowlers trailing the Indiana Sentinels by a score of 2-0 through 20 minutes of play. Well, come out to Wings Etc. this Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. for the latest edition of the Port Huron Prowlers Coaches Show. Come hang out with your Prowlers in a casual, fun setting and hear some great stories and lots more from your favorite Prowlers as well as the Prowlers coaching staff. This week we'll have Luke James on the show, and he's a guy who can talk forever. That show might end up going about 2.5 hours if we just let him talk as much as he's able to. But the Prowlers Coaches Show is coming up this Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m., and it's hosted live at Wings Etc. Also available here on the PHP Network live stream. But come out to Wings Etc. and you'll be able to ask questions, win prizes, and get some money off your food if you wear Prowlers gear. It's always a fun time at the Prowlers Coaches Show at Wings Etc. We hope to see you there. Prowlers trailing the Sentinels by a score of 2-0. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, hon, we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Welcome back here to McMorran Place. 20 minutes down, and the Prowlers trailing the Indiana Sentinels by a score of 2-0. I'm joined up here in the broadcast booth by Jim White, one of our great partners here with Mobility Remodelers and the Port Huron Lions Club. Jim, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
You just want to talk a little bit about Mobility Remodelers and your partnership with the Prowlers. I know your logo's on the scoreboard for anyone who has been here at McMorran Place and seen it, but how's it been working with the Prowlers this year?
You know, it's a great partnership, and we just want to be supportive of this great team. Everything they've done to improve the product on the ice, if we can help with that, we're very involved in the community as an organization. Our business is, and it was important for us to get involved and be supportive.
And not just the team on the ice, but how about those on-ice projectors and all that cool stuff we have before the games?
You know, I have to tell you, it's so impressive. I was taking pictures, sending it to family members and saying, wow. So, I mean, I love to come down here and just watch a game and enjoy the whole environment. It's so much better than it was in the past. I mean, just the upgrades are incredible.
Now, I know fans can find you in the Birchwood Mall, but you tell us a little bit, what's new with Mobility Remodelers?
You know, we've been growing for the last 15 years since I got here. We were on Water Street for years. It was the showroom and the office. And then we went to the mall with we have two showrooms there, one for kitchens and bathrooms and one for flooring. And then we also have, we moved the new warehouse and office facility and call center to Port Huron Township at Lapeer, which is where I go every day. It's in Port Huron Township, 3815 Lapeer. So, yeah, we've just grown so much, you know, spread out in the area, but we're a Port Huron business, and we support everything we can here in Port Huron.
Well, it's great to have you here, of course, in the arena, but you're also a big part of the Port Huron Host Lions Club, who are also helping us out tonight and helping us get all this great food that fans have donated and getting that to all the right places. How long have you been involved with the Lions Club, and kind of what's your role with the club?
I am a past district governor of the largest district in the state of Michigan. We have over 1,200 Lions. The Port Huron Host Lions are 105 years old, which actually 106 this year. We're one of the oldest clubs, not only in Michigan, but in the world. And, you know, it's an honor. I chair several positions within the Lions. I was a multiple president many times here in Port Huron, but we really work. Everybody.
There's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Sorry, a T-shirt just came. What are we doing?
Thank you, ladies.
Hang on, folks. I got to toss a T-shirt. gotta take a little off
I've
that
never
T-shirt.
seen it come that far.
That's wow, and live on the air. How about that? Anything can happen on live TV. But you talk about your involvement with the Lions Club.
Yeah.
And, one of the oldest in the world.
Yes, and you know, everybody knows we do Leader Dog, we do Eyesight, we have the Bear Lake Camp, which is here in our district. You know, we also have a seat. It's a non-voting seat at the United Nations because we helped write that charter because we're older than the United Nations. But if you're volunteering and doing things for other people or just for yourself, you're already a Lion. You just need to join our organization. And we're right here in Port Huron, and you can reach out. We have many people here at the game tonight, but you can call 479-9451, 479-9451. That's our, we have a hall that we rent out, very reasonable for people. But if you're thinking about volunteering and doing some things, we're very active. We're going to be involved as the major sponsor for a new car show that is taking place of the old Main Street Memories. And that will be, we think we're going to call it the Lions from Keels to Wheels. So the day after boat night, it will be downtown. And you go from the keels of the boats to the wheels that we're going to bring in town. So whatever we can do to support our community, but also everything we do and every dollar we raise goes back to the community, both here locally, but the dollars come back one way or the other.
And I think that's what's so great about kind of our charities that we've been able to do. Last night all those teddy bears going to the bottomless toy chest.
Yes,
and then,
thank you.
And then
Thank
tonight, of course, all this food going to the Blue Water Area Rescue Mission. So again, keeping it in the community, I think that's so great about what you guys are doing, and we're just happy to be involved with that. What made this night for you guys so important to be part of this Hockey Fights Hunger Night?
You know, hunger is one of our main missions too, and we have a great hunger committee. They work each month down at the soup kitchen here in Port Huron. We do other things where we donate food throughout the area. We do food trucks. We do a lot of different things. And so when Chris Paulin came to me and said, hey, are you interested in doing this? I couldn't help but do it. And so I didn't want to see the club have to burden itself because we raise money to do things. Right. So I helped out through Mobility Remodelers. And, you know, if you buy a kitchen, a bathroom, or a floor from us, we give a donation on every order to the local Lions Club. And myself, personally, I also donate proceeds to the international and the state foundations as well.
What kind of projects have the Lions been working on recently?
You know, they almost killed themselves because the last, from the summer through October, we had a car show. We had our 105th walkathon. We had, we work in the soup kitchen regularly. We're doing this event here tonight. We've done just so many. I mean, it's almost like every weekend there for a while. And I kind of had to step in and say, take a break, guys. And this one made an opportunity. We did a movie in the park at the Port Huron Township Park where our hall is, right there. We call it Port Huron Township Park, but it's kind of a dual-purpose park for the city and the township. And the president of the club, Tim Hunter, actually, he and John Middleton brought it to that looks good out there, doesn't it?
You like that?
Mobility,
like
yeah.
The mobility and the Lions Club logos.
Oh, yeah, I like that. But somebody better be getting that on film. But
I got a picture earlier, so I'll make sure that gets to you.
I appreciate it. But, we only expect to do more with the community. When I came here, I thought it was going to be retirement for myself. I have... we do a lot with pediatric cancer, but myself, I'm also a cancer survivor. And, but all I've done since that is become governor of the Lions, triple the size of my company, and increase donations through the Lions and other services. So we did do a huge thing, pediatric cancer, this past year or this current year, where we do dinners and all the money. I think we raised $3,500 for Children's Hospital in Detroit. So it's a constant, what's next, and they are so eager. And, we've got 94-year-old members. We've got 25-year-old members. Somebody told me one time, everybody can be a Lion, and most people want to be one. We just have to do a better job of telling people. And so anybody that's listening to this, we would love to have you be a Lion. You do what you can. We meet the first Tuesday of every month at the Port Huron Township Lions Hall, right across from Cracker Barrel. We'd love you to come in. We feed you for free.
That's always a big motivator.
Yeah, it's always, I take credit for that one. Why go somewhere and pay when we can just cook it up or cater it in? So.
Now, the Lions clubs, of course, all over the country and all over the world. We have people watching from Indiana here tonight and people from all over the world, and they can certainly find their local Lions clubs as well and get involved.
Yes, that's all they have to do is Google Lions Club International or whatever your local town is, Lions Club. That's what I did. I have to tell you, I had my two best friends' dad was almost like a second dad to me, and he passed away about 11 years ago, and he had a seeing eye dog, and, he had 3 of them. But that dog kept him coaching football and everything. He could still be out there calling plays. They would explain to him. And so when he died, I did an homage. I went online. I punched in my information. Next day, a guy came to my office and said, "So you want to be a Lion?" And about 2 years later, I was the club president. I think we had 15 people that were on the roster. Now we're over 60 here, and we really need to grow the Fort Gratiot area. But that's how quick it can happen. And, everybody says, oh, people used to join and people used to, back. No, the old days are today if we decide to make them that way. I think if you want to humble yourself and do service for others, there's a whole lot of ways to do it, but the best way is the Lions, because we're not political, we're not religious, at least at the club. And, we just do, where there's a need, there's a Lion. Whether it's here, our district led a charge to build a bridge in Rwanda for a group of people. And, we have a diabetic screening clinic in Croswell, and our club was very instrumental in those projects. So, again, we don't do everything, but if it's inside of our main mission and main goals, we're there to do it.
And can you just remind the people one more time how they can join your local Port Huron Host Lions Club?
Well, they can look us up, Port Huron Host Lions, online, or they can call us at 810-479-9451, or come to the Township Hall across from Cracker Barrel, first Tuesday of the month, and or they can come to Mobility Remodelers at my office, 3815 Lapeer Road. Sorry, I can't remember, it's so new. And ask for me, Jim White, and I'll point you in the right direction. So that's the easiest way, or those are multiple ways to join. And just come, check us out. And we'll put you to work doing something positive in the community for yourself and for others. And I want to thank the Prowlers for giving us the opportunity to do this, to fight some hunger here tonight. I think it's a great thing. I think we want to do it on an annual basis and just watch it grow.
Absolutely. I hope this becomes a regular thing. But Jim, so great to have you on. Thanks so much for coming up and joining us.
All right.
We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
I do all right?
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorrin experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PHProwlers, and Twitter at PHProwlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
On Prowlers hockey. Back here at McMorrin Place, Prowlers trailing the Indiana Sentinels by a score of 2-0. So great to have Jim White of the Port Huron Host Lions Club and Mobility Remodelers up here in the broadcast booth to hang out. And we had a t-shirt fly up here mid-interview, but that's just live TV, folks. You never know what's going to happen. We do know that in just about 4 minutes, these teams will drop the puck on period number 2. But before we get there, let's take a look around the league, starting with our Thumb Rust Control FPHL storylines. And we start with one that just didn't make it into the script last night, but able to put it in here tonight. Dustin Jesseau released from the PD Ice Cats, 19 points in 12 games. And you might be surprised if you're new to the FPHL, but we've seen this a lot before with Jesseau. He goes to a place, he puts up a lot of points. There are internal issues, and then he is released. And, it's happened time and time again with teams, the Danbury Hat Tricks, the Binghamton Black Bears, along with others, Port Huron Prowlers a couple of times, certainly as well. But Jesseau, now a free agent. We'll see if anybody else takes a chance on him. We talked a little bit about Dalton Anderson tonight as he was making his Indiana Sentinels debut. He led the Mississippi Seawolves in goals last year and began this season with the now rebranded Biloxi Breakers. Bobcats last night beat the Watertown Wolves in what was a wild finish in Virginia. The Wolves got a goal from Brad Ryder to tie it up with the goal he pulled in the final minute. But with under 10 seconds to play, PJ Demetrio banked one off of Brendan Colgan, and the Bobcats ended up taking all 3 points, 3 important points in the race in the Empire Division. Let's keep looking around the FBHL, head to our out-of-town scoreboard. There's plenty of games going on right now. We start with the Columbus River Dragons and the Twin City Thunderbirds. Currently a 2-0 score in favor of the River Dragons, as they are in the early stages of period 3. Gus Ford and Roman Kramer have the goals for Twin City. They sandwich goals by Brody Thornton and Josh Colton. Binghamton Black Bears beat the Danbury Hat-Tricks in a shootout last night. They're all over them after 20 minutes of play tonight. 4-0 to score. Nick Swain and Mac Jansen, 2 goals apiece for the Bears. PD with a 2-1 lead against the Athens Rock Lobsters as those teams finish off a 3-3 set. Charlie Bedard, Trevor Lord, and Dominic Marcinkovic have the goals for PD. Danil Glukariev, the only tally for the Lobsters, as that one is now a 3-1 score, actually, as the Ice Cats just did get their 3rd goal moments ago as we were talking about it. Watertown with the only goal so far in Virginia. It's 1-0 midway through the first period. Trevor Newman has the tally there. Breakers and Moccasins will get underway in just a couple of moments. Josh Rosenswag starting in net for Biloxi. Nolan Egbert in goal for the Moccasins, also getting started in just a few moments. The Topeka Scarecrows and the Baton Rouge Zydeco. No word yet on starters there. Of course, here it's 2-0 Indiana. The Outtown scoreboard is presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Prowlers hitting the ice here, getting set for the start of period number 2. Let's take a see them coming out of the tunnel. Let's take a quick look at the stats so far in this game. Prowlers heavily out shooting the Sentinels right now, 21-11. Neither team has scored a power play goal, but Denver Craig has both for the Sentinels, both at even strength. And it's 2-0 Indiana. We'll see if the Prowlers can make a comeback. What do they say? 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. Prowlers found that out the hard way last night. And we'll see if they can turn the tables here tonight. It just takes one to get through, and it just takes one to get through and kind of open the floodgates. We've seen it before. See what Bailey Huber can do in this period. 9 saves on 11 shots in the opening 20. John Werber down on the other end, 21 of 21. And he currently is looking like the best player on the ice. A little pushing and shoving between Hakala and Esposito on the near side wing as the puck is down for period number 2. And quickly it's deflected up out of play, fumbled by a fan, and now a fight for it in the stands. And we have a winner. Prowlers switch to the 3rd line. Face-off will be right in that same spot. 8 seconds gone in period 2. Esposito and James now giving each other the hack and whack. See their helmets there. They kind of crawl onto the screen. Gazal will take the face-off instead of Decumbus. Hippolyte Smith won it back, and we're back underway. Federley has to retreat down to his own end. A couple of players tangled up in front of the benches, and whistles blow. James has his hand up, wondering why there's a penalty called against him. As Esposito gets back to his skates, holding signaled against James. And let's watch it. See how much we can see here. As James do the hit on Esposito, and I mean they were just tied up there. I don't see a hold there. James's leg was stuck between Esposito's legs. I personally do not see a hold there, but the referee on the opposite side of the ice did. And the Prowlers are now shorthanded for the third time in this game. And I'm not saying that should have been a hold on Esposito, as again, James's leg was tied up between both of Esposito's legs. I thought it should still be 5-on-5 right now. As Pavlov at the point. Net kicked out by Huber, and the rebound just went past Horn, who was sneaking down to the post. Esposito slipped it back up high. Ponovanov, Pavlov. Down to Craig, looking back door, and too much on that pass. Ponovanov, watched by Heikkila. Across towards Pavlov. Craig scoops it up, chased by Johnson. Pavlov walking the blue line, off to Ponovanov. Switches spots with Pavlov, sent it through, and he scores! Not sure if anybody got a touch on it on the way through, but a power play goal for Indiana makes it 3-0. And it looks like this might be Ethan Esposito's goal. Let's take another look. Watch Esposito there in the high slot. Yes, he does tip that one down. So that puck came through. Esposito able to tip it down and pick up his 5th goal of the season. He adds a goal to his assist tonight. And the Sentinels with a 3-0 lead, a big goal early on in period 2. Terrain dumps it in. Federley smacks it around right into Tortorella. Loose puck scooped up by Federley. He'll lead the rush. 3-on-3. Federley off a stick, off the back glass. Prowlers captain gets back on it. Tried to cycle it back behind the net. Caught up in the referee's skates. Pazika towards Shaheen. He couldn't bring the puck in cleanly. Prowlers regroup back in the neutral zone. Bazal fanned on the dump attempt. Federley played it over to where Oregon was, but no longer was. Passed ahead, here's Bucell working on the backhand save. Werber, penalty coming up against Indiana. Huber to the bench. Pazika knocked down, but he'll touch up. And we have a chance for a penalty shot here, slashing the call, and let's see. Bucell certainly had a step. It doesn't look like we'll get the penalty shot, as Colarusso is sitting in the penalty box. The 2-line pass to Bucell, and Colarusso guys stick around Bucell. Whacked him there on the hands. Prowlers to their 4th power play of the game. They're 0 for 3. And they call the whack right there. Again, certainly could have been a penalty shot, but instead, a 2-minute Prowlers power play, and they probably would have liked the penalty shot a lot better, the way their power play's been going. Federley not able to keep it in at the line. Very, very close there, but Dallas Mitchell, the linesman, in perfect position to call it. And they'll bring that face-off all the way down. The Sentinels, we had an offensive zone draw as the face-off is moved to Prowler territory. Prowlers don't agree with that call, but they'll have to deal with it. Puck popped up in the air, hit Bucell on the back, and now the Prowlers able to move it out. Bucell dumped it in deep. Price couldn't push it back behind the net. Here comes Hippolyte Smith shorthanded. Sentinels had a couple of shorthanded chances in the opening period. Prowlers able to stymie that opportunity. Betterly, right wing side, Anderson with some room. Blake Anderson makes a move to the net, tried to pass it over to Price, didn't get all the way to him. Johnson holds the zone. Sent it in front looking for Graham's stick. Heikola behind the net to Graham as the Prowlers continue to change up their unit. Johnson walks the line, over to Anderson. Down the wall, throws on the brakes and backs up to the goal, and a save by Werber with Graham right in front. 44 seconds left on this Prowlers power play. Connor Bazal getting some power play time here. With Reggie Millette in the box. After what happened at the end of that first period, a shot by Favaro was stopped. Johnson held it in at the line. He walks off to Lockney. Graham takes the pass down low, back up high. Johnson gets a shooting lane, hit his own man Bazal, and puck cleared down ice. So by the way, Millette and Dawson both picked up 4 minutes of penalties at the end of that first period for that dust-up, so that's why they're both in the penalty boxes. Here's Favaro wrapping it around to Graham. Final seconds ticking off this Prowlers power play. Bazal behind the net. Taken in by Tracy. Now Graham cycles it down deep. Bazal grabs it there. Bounced up high. Favaro lets it go. He scores! Through the traffic, Nick Favaro has gotten the Prowlers on the board. Eighth of the year for Favaro. Just a soft wrist shot, able to filter it through all the bodies in front. Prowlers with some life. Take another look. 2 Prowlers go right to the net, along with Colin Tracy. And Werber couldn't see it through all that traffic. A seeing eye wrister. Great look there on our reverse cam from Nick Favaro. Well, the Prowlers back within 2, and they finally break the dam. Let's see if the goals start flowing now. But Esposito trying to restore the lead of 3 for Indiana. His shot stopped by Huber. Anderson wheeling up with help. Anderson had James going to the net, spun back. Tried to get it down to Luke James, but Pavlov bounced it back up. Anderson digging away against Ponovanov. Anderson wins the puck, centered it, looking for DeCumbus. And if Vinny DeCumbus was right-handed, that would have been a perfect pass. A trip called here against the Prowlers. And that will take the wind out of the sails. An Indiana man advantage when we come back here on the PHP Network. back here at McMorran Place. Prowlers trailing the Sentinels 3-1, and they'll be going short-handed. Let's take another look at that tripping penalty as Brian Parsons with a soft whack on Denver Craig, and he toppled over like a Christmas tree. Parsons sits for 2, and the Sentinels go their 4th power play. They're 1 for 3. Quickly up the faceoff. Johnson's clearing attempt hit the referee, and Werber had to glove it. It was not going on net until it hit the referee right in the dome. That was referee Adam Fish. He seems to be no worse for wear. Sentinels set up in the Prowlers end. Terrain. Reverse for Horn. Ends off for Romeo Terrain. Down low Dawson. Sent around. Price gets to it. Move to the middle. Dawson in front. Missed the net. How do you miss from there? Johnson off the glass. Kept in by Terrain. Tracy. Try to scoop it down low. And Austin Federley able to bang it all the way down ice. That time did not hit the referee, although referees have been in the line of fire this weekend. Last night, a linesman got knocked into the Indiana bench through an open door. Be careful, Stripes. Dawson. All the way down and around. Lockhart keeps it moving. Stopped by Tracy right at the blue line. James able to find the puck and dump it all the way down. He got hit by Collazo as he dumped it. 34 seconds left to go in the Sentinels power play as Anderson causes a turnover. Dumps it in and heads after it along with Terrain. Blake Anderson causing all kinds of trouble in deep. Esposito trying to skate away from him. Esposito scoots around Organ, left it behind the net. Shaheen and Organ battling for it. Craig ran into his own man, Shaheen. Federley, calmly fires at the length of the ice. Bounced in on Werber, and he hangs on for a whistle. And it's not the first time we've seen a puck skip right in front of John Werber on a dump by the Prowlers, shorthanded. And imagine if one of those goes in. Faceoff coming deep in Werber's end. Parsons standing ready to come out of the box just as soon as the puck is dropped. Millette for Favaro. Now Johnson. Knocked off his stick. Here comes Craig. Craig on a breakaway, and he sent it into the protective netting up over the glass. Not sure if Johnson or Favaro may have gotten their stick on it. Denver Craig denied the hat trick opportunity. They did get the steal from Johnson. Looking for a game day meal, Zip Sauce Burger is located in the Industrial Park Marathon. Zip Sauce, the official burger of the Port Huron Prowlers. Federley tried to pass ahead. That was partially blocked away and then intercepted by Tortorella. Austin Fairley comes in to poke it off of Tortorella's stick. Graham couldn't work it out. Turnaround try by Hiplet. Smith was stopped, and then Huber had the rebound as well. .12:09 left to go in period 2. Prowlers having trouble escaping their own end. Good first stop by Huber, and then he was ready for the second one as he left the rebound right in front of his body there. Bobby Price will take this face-off for the Prowlers against Noah Hippolyte-Smith. Hippolyte-Smith won it forward, but Federley lifted his stick and tied him up. Oregon up towards Anderson, sends Price on his way. Price ran into Pavlov. Bucell bats it down low towards Price. taken by Tortorella. He played it off a skate. Pavlov swung down to the ice. Here's Anderson stepping out to the point. Parsons lets it go, deflected, kicked out, and then pushed wide. Hippolyte Smith off the glass and out. Prowlers getting opportunities, and they'll try for another. Up comes Price. Prowlers in with numbers. Price, Anderson, Lockhart. Peels back up high, cycles to Anderson. Turnaround shot off the backboards. Parsons pinched in. Anderson able to block it. Price, a drive and missed wide on the blocker side of Werber. Changes finishing up on the Prowler bench. Johnson scoots it ahead to Bizal. Had it knocked off his stick by Dalton Anderson. Johnson off the boards. Bizal able to get it out. Pazika, D to D for Ponovanov. Cross corner dump, Dalton Anderson on it. Cycles around behind the net. Favaro the first one there. Terrain, back pedals, hit it off of Johnson. Here's Collazo long range try that Johnson was able to impede. Favaro slides it to Heikkila. Able to sidestep Terrain. Heikkila to the net, rows it over top and up out of play. Boy, the Prowlers are getting their opportunities here. Let's take a look back earlier in that shift. The chance by Parsons that was stopped and then pushed wide on the backhand by Bobby Price. And here's the chance for Heikkila. Nice move around Romeo Terrain, and Werber did get a piece of that one with his glove. It was labeled for the top shelf. Esposito blocked Federley's attempt, and Austin Federley came all the way back to make the defensive play. Organ hands it off for Federley. Shot it off a Sentinel stick, so this won't be icing. Terrain pitchforks it ahead towards Craig. Lias bounces it in Esposito's direction. Parsons ends up with the puck. Ahead for Millette, off his stick, has to chase back after it. Lockhart trying to regroup in the neutral zone. Graham has it now. Pass picked off by Lias. Parsons flags it down in his own end. Rink wide feed, Graham waiting for help. Graham couldn't find a pass, he'll just cycle it down deep. Reggie Millette needs a change, he's heading off the ice now. Parsons up for Bucell, fresh off the bench, but I think that may have hit Lockney's skate. Bucell bangs it in. Anderson and Price both in on the forecheck. Ponovanov comes out with the puck. Craig harassed, left the puck behind. Craig back on it. Sent it up, Bucell threw a hit on him, and Bucell's getting a penalty. Fans don't like this call, but they'll see their team shorthanded once again. 8:49 left to go in period two. Sentinels lead by a pair.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here in Port Huron, Santa's in the house here tonight at McMorran Place. And then you have Jamie Bucell there on the naughty list, sitting in the sin bin. 2 minutes for kneeing. The call on the ice. Santa will be in the house a week from tonight on December the 20th, and he'll be taking pictures for free here at McMorran Place. You just have to get a ticket to the game, and you can get free pictures with Santa through that game. As soon as the doors open, he'll be here and ready to go. So be sure to come out. Professional photos with Santa. That's next Saturday night, the 20th, during Casey's Kids Zone night, 6:05 p.m. start. Here's Pavlov floating it through, tipped wide by Pazika. Sentinels looking for their second power play goal of this game. Pulled off the wall, jumps in, hard all the way down. Prowlers get 4 fresh killers. Ivanov ahead to Pavlov. Wheeling in front of Decumbus. Pavlov slips past Oregon. Pavlov in front, and that pass didn't get all the way through to its intended target. Saucered all the way down by Tim Organ. Prowlers have killed off 45 seconds of the Bucell penalty. Organ finds the puck again, and he'll send it all the way in on Werber. He'll catch and hang on. So Blake Anderson causing Werber to stop and hold the puck. And the Sentinels can't change after that because the Prowlers dumped it from their side of center, and Werber was the one that stopped play. Speaking of Santa, you know what the best gift is this holiday season? The Prowlers in the team store. You have to be in the in-arena team store, and only during the next 2 games, next 2 home games on next Friday and Saturday, running a deal. $75 gets you 2 adult tickets, 2 child tickets, and 2 lightsabers for the Star Wars night in February. You talk about a great holiday gift, a great holiday deal. You can get your tickets now for that game, again, as well as a pair of Prowlers lightsabers. And that deal only available in the Prowlers team store here in the arena, and it will be available on the 19th and 20th next weekend when the Prowlers are home against the Blue Ridge Bobcats, and then the deal's gone after that. There's Bobby Price wheeling ahead shorthanded. He has help. Price trying to get around terrain. James took it away from Dawson. James surrounded as the Sentinels come back in numbers, just try and get that puck. Final seconds ticking off of Bucell's penalty. Knocked out of the air. James sent it all the way up and down. Bucell going to win the race to beat the icing. Werber moves it away from him. Tracy hands it off for Craig. Outside shot, scooped up by Bailey Huber, and he'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. Mobility Remodelers has been locally owned for 25 years and is a proud partner of the Port Huron Prowlers. Go check out their kitchen, bath, and flooring showrooms at the Birchwood Mall. Mobility Remodelers is, of course, partnering with the Prowlers to sponsor this game. We chatted with Jim White, the owner of Mobility Remodelers, during the first intermission. He also plays a large role of in the Port Huron Host Lions Club, who are also helping out the Prowlers in this hockey fights hunger game. There's a centering pass by Lockney that was off the side of the net. Graham finds it. It's centering feed. Millette, quick shot kicked out by Werber. Pavlov put Graham into the boards. Millette comes back for the puck, had it poked off his stick. They'll beat Hippolyte Smith back to it. Millette ahead to Lockney, touches it in deep. At least I thought he did. But I guess Lockney missed the puck, so an icing called against Port Huron. Under 6 to go here in period 2. Sentinels with a 3-1 lead, despite the Prowlers with a 27-16 shots advantage. Face off to Huber's right. Grabbed out of the pile by Parsons, slipped right through the low slot. Plenty of players tied up there. Lockney off to Graham. And dumped right in on Werber. He'll play it as the Prowlers are in the midst of a change. Had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. Shaheen fanned on the first clearing attempt. Able to get it out on the second try. And now it's Price taken down. Tried to rip a shot, fan. Bucell takes it, blocked by Leas. Bucell back to Johnson. All the way across to Favaro with room. Walks in, off to James, in front. Didn't get all the way through. And Pazika touches up to get the penalty call. Dalton Anderson going to the box. Prowlers almost made good on the 6-on-5 attack as James couldn't get the pass cleanly. Tried to go across and it was blocked on its way through to Blake Anderson. I think Werber may have gotten the paddle down on it, but either way, Anderson in the box. That's Indiana's Anderson. 2 minutes for tripping. Prowlers to their 5th power play of this game. Trying to pull within a goal and trying to end their lengthy power play drought. They have not scored a power play goal as Favaro rips one over top of the net. Would have been funny if he scored right there. They have not scored a power play goal since the Friday game in Topeka. And that was 6 games ago. They have not scored a power play goal in their last 5. Coincidence or not, that's the length of the Prowlers' losing streak. Graham couldn't pull it to his forehand to shoot it, and Pavlov clears. Minute 25 left on the man advantage. Lockney looks to start up, ice slowly, got it to Millette. Back to Lucas Lockney. Hands off, Higla shot, rising, save Werber. Werber knocked down. Tortorella couldn't clear. Good job by Federley to keep it in. And then it's chopped out by Tortorella. Prowlers have fully switched up the units here. Federley up slowly. Price to the right wing side. Anderson has Price going to the net. Got it there. Save Werber with the pad. And the clearing attempt goes off of Federley and into the Prowler bench. Faceoff should stay inside the Indiana zone. Indeed it will. 40 seconds left on the penalty, and we will take a timeout here on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry
Howie's. Back here in Port Huron, 40 seconds to go on the Prowlers man advantage. Chris Paulin with the second power play unit trying to draw something up along with head coach Matt Graham. Port Huron again has not scored a power play goal in 5 straight games, and they're 0 for 4 tonight. But a power play goal here would go a long way to getting them back in this game. Off the face-off, Anderson right on goal, save, rebound, batted around, and Tortorella able to find it and toss it out. Bucell with Leas right on his back, reverse for Federley. Pass was too far ahead of Price, and Leas just gets it back down. Federley had it taken by Tortorella, but he chopped him So a slashing penalty coming up, and this will be a brief 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. As Tortorella came down on Federley's stick, he doesn't like the call, and we'll get a face-off down in Indiana's end. Didn't look like too much, but enough to get the whistle and the face-off, and the 5-on-3 chance for the Prowlers, again, just for 15 seconds. They switch back to the first unit. Meanwhile, the Sentinels going with Pavlov, Ponovanov, and Lias. Lockney grabs it off the draw. Johnson straight on, off to Lockney. Looks towards the net, got it to Millette. Won't shoot, Favaro does, and he missed the net. Lockney shoots it, deflected by Graham and wide. Now 5-on-4 as Dalton Anderson able to one-hand it all the way down. Lockney leaves it. Favaro skates into it. Millette over to Lockney. Weaves in, surrounded, finds his way to the near side boards. Got the pass back from Millette. Millette now walks the blue line, switches spots with Favaro. Millette lost the handle. Favaro off the boards. Greg tried to keep him moving around from Ponovanov. Got it only as far as Favaro, but Collazo able to finish the job and clear. 2.5 left to go in period 2. 1 minute left on this Prowlers power play. Millette waiting for something to develop. Whips it across. Lockney shoots, and a save by Werber. Rebounds available. Graham got one whack. He has the puck now. Federley, Curlin drag shot swallowed up by Werber. 43 seconds of power play time remains for the Prowlers. John Werber with a few good saves. That one on the easier side, and he has kept his team in this game and kept them in the lead. Prowlers more than doubling up the Sentinels in the shots on goal department. Federley walks, shoots off of Pazika's stick, and up out of play. Draw will be to Werber's right this time. Federley to Price, lets it go, blocked by Lias, and he gets it out. Federley takes the handoff. Blake Anderson off to Price left wing side. Goes on the brakes, but his pass back split the two Prowlers on the blue line. Final seconds ticking off the penalty. Federley drops it back to Parsons. Right up the gut. It was defended by Craig, who took the puck. Tried to get ahead to Tortorella. Bucell turns it the other way. Tossed around. Prowlers power play has expired, by the way. DeCumbis on goal and blocked on the way through by Tracy. He clears it all the way down, no icing. Lockhart dinks it, hoping Parsons gets to it. Now DeCumbis turns the other way. Connor Bazal heading the rush. Off to James on the outside. Tried the return feed, didn't work. And here's Terrain on the counter. Good stick by DeCumbis. Craig, first one on the puck behind the net, but he overskated it. Bazal, back pass, finds Lockhart. Lockhart ran into Esposito. Terrain looks ahead, indirect feed, finds Craig, has help with him. Craig looking in front, tipped wide by Dawson. Dawson up to Terrain, one-timer, Pavlov, save Huber. Rebound, push behind the cage, 12 seconds left to go, and Pavlov couldn't keep the puck in the zone. 5 seconds left. And Esposito will just soft toss it deep. But we get a whistle here. Puck went up out of play with 0.4 seconds left to go in this second period. We hope you'll stick around for the intermission report. We'll go through all the highlights and have much more. So stick around here on the PHP Network for all of that. One last drop, and we head to the locker rooms for the second intermission, with the Sentinels leading the Prowlers by a score of 3-1. Shots on goal in that middle period favored the Prowlers 13-6, and they're up on shots 34-17 for the game. But it's Indiana with a 3-1 lead heading to the locker room. Once again, coming up in the intermission report right here on the PHP Network, we'll have highlights and analysis from that first 40 minutes of play. Take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up here on the PHP Network intermission report. Lots to talk about, and it's just been a tough night for the Prowlers. They've run into a very hot goaltender, and the goal scoring, which has been a struggle throughout these past 5 or so games, continues to be a struggle tonight. I mean, 3 goals last night felt like a ton based on how often they had been scoring before that. So we'll see if they can find a second goal here tonight. And again, we will talk about it here on the PHP Network during the intermission report. Physicality certainly continues to ramp up in this one. Prowlers will need to get something on the scoreboard, though, to get a win here tonight. We want you to come out to the Prowlers' next home game. That will be Friday, December the 19th, 7:05 p.m. here at McMorran Place as they take on the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Once again, that deal in the team store that I mentioned before, I'll give it to you again. $75 gets you 2 adult tickets and 2 child tickets, which by themselves cost roughly $75, maybe a little bit more than $75. But on top of that, you will get 2 Prowlers lightsabers, which are now available in the Prowlers team store. That deal, a Christmas time only deal, and it is only available this weekend and next weekend in the team store here in the arena, not the team store, not the online team store. You have to be here in the arena to get that deal. You also have to be here in the arena to experience everything we have to offer at McMorran Place. So be sure to get your tickets now at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. It's online, phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now to experience McMorran Place Prowlers hockey and get exclusive deals you can only get here. Giveaways, t-shirt tosses, chuck-a-puck, all the fun stuff that you can only get when you're here in the building. Scan that QR code or head to phprowlers.com/tickets now. We have lots of time during the intermission to get all of that done. Intermission report coming up next here on the PHP Network.
Come on, guys, hop in.
We're not getting in that thing. That thing's gross.
Yeah, I wore my nice pants today. This thing could use a detail.
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody who could detail a boat?
I think that guy could.
Hi, I'm Logan from Ballard's Detail. I can detail your boat. From oxidized and faded to smooth and glossy, our professional compounding and waxing process will get your boat looking new again. Contact us today at 810-956-8318. Visit us on Facebook at Ballard's Detail LLC.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers theme creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers trailing the Indiana Sentinels by a score of 3-1 through 40 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman back here with you at McMorran Place. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully during this intermission we don't get a t-shirt sent our way. Last intermission we got to chat with Jim White of Mobility Remodelers and the Port Huron host Lions Club, who you see their logo there right at center ice thanks to our on-ice projection system. But they are helping us out tonight with Hockey Fights Hunger, and Mobility Remodelers and the Port Huron host Lions Club will make sure that all this food gets to the Blue Water Area Rescue Mission. So all that food and the non-perishable donations staying right here in our community. I think that it's such an important part of all of these great community-driven and charitable events that we hold to make sure that all stays here in the Port Huron community. And thank you to the Lions Club and Mobility Remodelers for making sure of that. Let's take a look back through this one so far as we start back in the first period, and it was Indiana who got on the board first. Prowlers were up 7-0 in shots at this point, but it only takes one, and Denver Craig wins the battle in front of the net able to tip home the Colin Tracy shot and made it 1-0, just 2 minutes and 16 seconds in. And again, Prowlers were dominating those first few shifts. They were getting shot after shot after shot on John Werber, and he was stopping them all. And Indiana gets one opportunity, and again, a deflection right in front of Bailey Huber. That's a very tough one to make a save on, because the puck changes direction a foot in front of him, if not less. So it's Sentinels, a 1-0 lead at that point, and then later in the first, Craig would strike again. And this one that Huber certainly would like to have back. I know some people hate that cliche that the goaltender wants to have it back. Of course, he wants to have every goal back, but just a turnaround shot from the blue line, and Huber just, I'm not sure if he wasn't ready for it, not expecting it, didn't see it come off of Craig's stick with some other players around Craig up top. Whatever the reason was, Huber didn't pick it up until it was behind him, and that made it 2-0 Sentinels, and that's where we ended period number 1. And early in the second, Indiana would get a power play, and they'd get another goal off a deflection, and Ethan Esposito cruising through the high slot, able to tip down the shot. They're actually giving it to Zach Horn, so maybe a double deflection here then. And we see that one again. I believe Horn was right in front of the net. Yes, there's Horn right at the top of the blue paint. So they're giving it to Horn, which means Esposito and Horn both deflected the shot from Ponovanov. So a double deflection that time beats Huber. And that made it 3-0 Indiana. Esposito, 2 assists so far tonight, and he's been red hot dishing out the puck as of late. Assists in 5 of his last 6 games, including tonight. Esposito up to 9 helpers on the season. He's one shy of Vladislav Pavlov for the Sentinels team lead. Prowlers, though, would get themselves on the board a few minutes later. And it was a quick shot from the point from Nick Favaro. Lots of traffic in front, provided by Matt Graham and Lucas Lockney, as Favaro sent it through. And that one got through everybody. No deflection on that one, unlike the 2 Sentinels goals. And for Nick Favaro, that is his 8th goal of the season. And he ties Matt Graham for the most goals on the team. Just a seeing eye shot, traffic in front. And that seems to be the theme of this game, as every goal in this game has come from a shot up near the blue line. Again, 2 of them from the Sentinels were deflected, but the original shot came from up high at the blue line. And the Prowlers, of course, getting their goal from the blue line as well. We'll see if that creates some more low to high plays. That's something you see the Prowlers do a lot in the offensive zone. They like to filter shots in from the point. They just need to start getting more guys in front of the net, because you saw when they did have traffic in front and Werber wasn't able to see it, they were able to beat him. But we'll see if they can continue to do that. Hunt pucks in the offensive zone, which Blake Anderson has been doing at a high level throughout tonight's game. He's been hard in on the forecheck. That entire line, really, of Anderson, Price, and Vinny DeCumbis, Luke James as well, when he's on that line, as he's rotated through that line throughout tonight's game as the extra forward tonight. They've been able to get on pucks and find them in the offensive zone at a high rate. And we'll see if they can continue that and turn that into a little bit more offense as the Prowlers move to period 3, trailing tonight. This is the 10th time this season they have trailed after 40 minutes of play. They are 0 for 9 this year in those situations. But here is, again, an opportunity that came as a result of that third line. Anderson and Price working hard down low. Artu Hakel is a guy who feels a bit snake bitten. He had that one labeled for the top corner after the beautiful move, and Werber made the glove save. There's a great defensive play from Austin Federley, who's on the back end tonight with the injury to Ben Brockway. Federley slides back to help out that defense unit. the Prowlers trailing 3-1, trying to make their first third period comeback this season and avoid being swept back-to-back weekends, avoid dropping their 6th straight game, which would certainly set off the alarms and set off the panic. And we will have third period for you on the PHP Network. Coming up next, Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and then we'll wrap up this second intermission. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorrin experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
On Prowlers hockey, it's presented by shot. Back here at McMorrin Place, Prowlers trail the Sentinels by a score of 3-1. Let's take a look at what's next for the Prowlers over these next couple of weeks. They're back home again next weekend against the Blue Ridge Bobcats, Friday the 19th. That is Teacher Appreciation Night. We are still accepting nominations for any teacher that you would like honored at that game. Check on the Prowlers promotional schedule page under the schedule tab on their website and scroll down to the Teacher Appreciation Night posting on that page, and you will find the form. You'll find a link to the form to nominate your favorite teacher. And again, we're encouraging teachers from all schools in the area to be nominated and honored at that game. And then that Saturday night, the 20th, Santa and the Grinch will be in the building. So maybe a few Grinchy, devious tricks, but we'll also have free pictures, free professional photos with Santa here at McMorrin Place, taken by one of our professional photographers that are employed by the Prowlers. Very excited for that one. Santa will be here as soon as the doors open at 5:05 p.m. and then the puck drops at 6:05. And of course, also a Casey's Kids Zone night. Fans will be able to hit the ice with the team after the game and meet their favorite players, get autographs, get photos as well. The Kids Zone will be set up with face painting and other activities for the young ones. So come out to that one on December the 20th. Then after Christmas, Prowlers will head back out on the road. Those in Canada call Friday the 26th Boxing Day. Prowlers will be taking on the Danbury Hat-Tricks in Danbury, 7:30 and 7 p.m. puck drops on the 26th and 27th. And those games will be available right here on the PHP Network. Let's take a look at what the Hat-Tricks, the Bobcats, and the rest of the FPHL are up to tonight with our Love After Hours out-of-town scoreboard. Love After Hours is a proud partner of the Port Huron Prowlers. Use code Prowlers for 15% off. We have one that's gone final. The Twin City Thunderbirds got revenge on the Columbus River Dragons behind 2 goals from Yuri Pastuka, a 3-point night by Gus Ford, and 27 saves from Dyson Skinner. Pastuka scored the only 2 goals of the third period. Birds take down the Dragons 4-2. Black Bears all over the Hat-Tricks 7-1 through 40 minutes of play in Binghamton. Last night went to a shootout. Tonight does not look like it will be the same, as Nick Swain has scored 4 times. Kyle Steffen in his first weekend back has a goal. Mac Jansen has a couple as well. Noah Robinson, the only tally for the Hat-Tricks. Again, 7-1 in favor of Binghamton. Ice Cats lead the Lobsters 3-1 still as they play in the second period. That score has not changed since the last time we checked in on it. One that has changed, though, the Watertown Wolves and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Wolves have 2 from FM Michigan in the second period. Quinn Shevers and Trevor Newman have the other 2 for Watertown. Nikita Kazirev, the only goal for the Bobcats. And it's 4-1 Wolves, and that's a score that Prowlers fans can certainly be rooting for. Another score that the Prowlers fans will be rooting for, I'll skip ahead here. The Baton Rouge Zydeco 1-0 lead over the Topeka Scarecrows. Dmitry Kuznetsov with the only goal there, early stages of the second period. And finally, we'll go back up to the Moccasins and the Breakers. Playing in Monroe, it's all Mocs through 20 minutes of play. Frank Schumacher, Derek Dubé-Plouffe, and Austin Albrecht with the goals for Monroe. Of course, here it's 3-1 Indiana, and the out-of-town scoreboard once again presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Let's take a look at our stats here in this game as we turn our attention back to this one. And Prowlers doubling up the Sentinels in shots on goal. John Werber has been phenomenal tonight, 33 of 34 as he led his team back onto the ice for this third period. Both teams have had opportunities on the man advantage, a combined just 1 for 11. And the Prowlers' power play continues to be a struggle, and it's being part of the reason why they are losing games, being unable to score on the man advantage. As the Prowlers hit the ice here at McMorran Place for the start of period number 3. We'll see if they have a couple of goals in them. Again, in case you're just getting back to your TVs or computers, Prowlers 0 for 9 this season when trailing through 40 minutes of play. They'll need a big period from Bailey Huber. He's certainly the reason why this game is not 4 or 5-1, as he had to stop some shorthanded breakaway opportunities back in the first period when the game really could have gone away from the Prowlers. You see Matt Graham having a chat with Dallas Mitchell, the linesman. First period is sponsored by Munger Physical Therapy. Second period sponsored by Hungry Howie's. This third period, though, not sponsored by anyone. It could be you. Email Chris at phprowlers.com to see how you can get your business on our scorebug here on the PHP Network. Up the opening face-off, we're underway in period 3. And Artu Hakala tried to bang the puck in deep, couldn't do it. Tim Organ had the puck come back to him. Slipped ahead off of Panovanov's stick. He has Bazal bearing down on him. Federley traces back to his own end. Tipped in by Bazal, but over the glass into the protective netting, out of play, and the face-off will come to the neutral zone. Just 27 seconds into the third. Matt Graham's line out there on the ice has had a few opportunities tonight, but relatively quiet for those guys. Graham, Lockney, and Millette. Although Graham and Lockney, the two guys standing in front of John Werber on the Nick Favaro goal. Here is Favaro moving it ahead. Lockney chops at it, kept in by Pavlov. Collazo kicks it up to his stick, looking for a pass. Johnson blocked it with his left skate. Pavlov retreats. Sent it around towards Panovanov, and Millette stole the puck from him. Millette turns towards the net. Favaro backpedals, fires, deflected wide. It changed direction up high off an Indiana stick. Up comes Dalton Anderson with an outside try that Brett Lockhart got a piece of, and the puck rides up out of play. What a good steal in the offensive zone by Reggie Millette, able to set up an opportunity for Favaro. And again, I think that shot was blocked slightly up high by one of the Sentinels. And ended up going wide. Here's Tortorella with a quick shot, kicked out by Huber. And that's the first shot of this third period. Anderson weaves in, his shot off a stick and up out of play. A choppy start to this third period, a minute and a half gone, and already, I believe, our fourth face-off of the period, including the one that began this 20-minute set. Anderson centering feed, came out in front, Werber the save, and he has it long enough to get the whistle. Take another look as that puck came right in front, and a quick backhander. Werber was able to make the save, and Prowlers were hoping it would drop behind him, hunting to see if they could find it in his equipment. Face off deep in Indiana's end. DeCumbus and Hippolyte-Smith on the draw. Hippolyte-Smith won it back. Ponovanov wraps it around. Craig muscled to the boards by Bazal. They dig away, and now it's Pavlov. Retreating over to Pazika. Tipped in, Huber stops it. He'll play it past Craig in Bazal's direction. So he will spin off the boards, up to Federley. He gets in. Federley whips it across to Cumbus, back in front, and it tipped over top of the cage. Hakala behind the net, tried to center off a Sentinel. Werber has no idea where it is. It was on his pad, or right next to it, I should say. Prowlers regain control. Federley walks the blue line, and he gave it away to Craig, who couldn't send Esposito in on a breakaway. Oregon chips it in and heads after it. Takes a look over his shoulder. His team finishing up a change. Oregon, Graham, in front, Lockney. Couldn't get a good touch on it. Millette behind the net. Took a hit from Pavlov. Lockney sweeps it up high. Lockhart. Lockney turns the corner. Lets it go wide. Millette looking behind the net. Now to Graham. Tried to saucer it across where Lockney was crashing the back post. Esposito takes over. Has Craig breaking. Couldn't get it to him. Delayed offsides here against Indiana. And it ends up becoming an icing. Prowlers getting their opportunities. John Werber making some big saves. See, look at that puck right next to Werber's toe. He was looking around, had no idea where it was. Hakala came crashing in. And then we take a look at the other chance after Oregon got it himself. Graham to Lockney and just pushed it wide. Good look there on our Elite Electric replay. Romeo Terrain around to Craig, who's waiting for it. Esposito. Chased by Anderson. And now Alex Johnson, D for Favaro as the Prowlers start up ice. Bucell chipped it in. Price chasing Ponovanov. Anderson able to block Ponovanov's wrap attempt. Blake Anderson twisting and turning behind the net. Got it up top to Favaro. Wrister, stop, rebound, another save, Werber. Puck is underneath John Werber. Bucell was on his backhand, didn't get everything he wanted on it. And Werber able to slide across and make a great save on the rebound. Stretching out that right pad, and then he had it underneath. There was daylight for a moment, and then there was Price getting tackled to the ice. Price was right there in the blue paint. Would have been interesting if the Sentinels would have challenged for goaltender interference had that puck gone in. Lockhart, a rip off the glove of Werber. Decumbis steps out, sharp angle try into the protective netting, out of play. So another face-off in Werber's end as the Prowlers continue to push, trying to find a goal. Shots 4-1 Port Huron in this third period. Lockhart gets it to Decumbis. Around behind the net, Bazal chasing. Trying to go low to high to Parsons. Instead, it got cycled down low. Decumbis with a steal behind the net. Loose puck grabbed by Dawson. Off the glass all the way down, and that will be an icing. This group of Sentinels has to stay out there. Prowlers send Graham's line on. Graham set to draw with Collazo. Tied up off the face-off. One-handed around, Dawson fanned on the bump attempt, had teammates there to help out. This one bounced off the boards, and how about another icing by Indiana? Another face-off down the Sens end. Tied up again off the draw. Pavlov and Lockney, the 277s, come together. Graham slips it out to Millette. Up high it goes. Oregon through traffic and wide. Lockney smushed by a couple of Sentinels. Oregon steps in front of that pass, shoots it, and it's gloved by Werber. And now Lockney being separated from Werber. And I think Lucas Lockney is getting a penalty here. Lockney sticked Werber, and the referees caught it. And that's one of those undisciplined penalties that the Prowlers are talking about, that Alex Johnson talked about last night in his post-game interview. See there, the glove save by Werber, but as Werber starts skating out of the crease, you see it right there, Lockney just got his stick in there. Not a good penalty for the Prowlers to take, trailing by 2 in the third. Shot towards the net, save, Huber, rebound, pushed back towards the cage, and Huber clamped the toe on the post and shut it down. We'll take a timeout and have the rest of this Sentinels man advantage when we come back here on the PHP Network.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorrin fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4. Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Back here at McMorrin Place, fan cam is on. Prowlers fans trying to keep their spirits up amidst a lengthy losing streak for their team. They'll need a comeback in this third period. They need to make their first third period comeback of the season if they are to end that losing skid. Pavlov just able to keep that puck in at the line. Konovanov on goal, and he was looking for Craig, who was posted up at the back post. Konovanov back towards Horn that time, and he wasn't able to get a good touch on it. Knocked down by the high stick of Konovanov. That will result in a whistle and a face-off all the way down in Indiana's territory. Luke James will take the shorthanded face-off to Werber's left. They have Craig split out wide on the near side boards. Zach Horn being asked to leave the face-off. Ethan Esposito will come in to take it instead. Goes to the boards. Pavlov wheels around the net, watched by Price. Indirect pass. Esposito moves ahead with it. Huber plays it off the near side boards, comes upon Ivanov, a rip blocked by Federley. Here comes Price shorthanded. One-on-one against Pavlov, and he left the puck behind. Back up comes Pavlov and Indiana. Off to the left wing side, Esposito. Off the boards, back to Pavlov. D to D, Konovanov. Pavlov on goal, missed it wide. Craig couldn't control as it bounced over his stick. Bucell clears. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Lucas Lockney. Tossed in by Dawson. Federley turns and fires it just off of Tracy, sticking out of the zone. Terrain to the left wing side. Cross corner dumped by Tracy, grabbed by Federley, tipped just past Terrain and out by Luke James. Terrain hassled by James. He's dumped back in. Lockhart takes a look, fires it down one last time, and the Prowlers kill off the penalty. 13 minutes left for them to try and get 2 goals. Tracy, long feed up to Dawson. Prowlers back in numbers as Dawson taken in by both Graham and Bucell. 3 Prowlers, 2 Sentinels trying to pull that puck off the boards. Now a 4th Prowler joins in. It's Lockney, he comes up with the puck. And then he gave it away. Horn on his backhand, pushed it wide. Moved out. Lockney skates into it, into the offensive zone. There was a check on Dawson. Graham trying to grab the puck. It's stuck underneath those 2. Graham finds it. Graham looking for Millette. Bounce back, sitting on the McMorran logo, and now Pazika backhands it out. Oregon wheels in to the right wing side. Favara looking back towards Oregon. Save Werber, he juggled it. Puck still loose. Sent all the way up, cut off by Millette. Graham back in. Drops it off for Bazal. And he was defended nicely. And here comes Craig working on Parsons. Craig shot kicked out by Huber. R2 Hakala, 1-on-2. Hakala couldn't dangle by Pavlov. Puck's loose. Parsons on the backhand, pushed it just past the cage. Parsons regains control. Up to the line, Bazal, Lockhart, couldn't get the shot through. To Cumbis. Lost it to Craig. He gets the red line right in on Huber and will drop it for Lockhart. Fresh troops streaming off the Prowler benches. Lockhart dumps it in. Bucell cut off. Johnson waiting for the puck in the neutral zone. Tried to drop it back. Here's Shahid. Robbed by Huber. Bad turnover there. And Bailey Huber bails out his defenseman. Price for Bucell on his backhand. Regains control. Favaro, Federley, filters it through up the side of the net. Price, Favaro, back down deep. Tracy, tried to go right up the wall. He ran into Price. Leas now with it. Off the glass and out. This one will go all the way down, but dies short of the icing line. Federley looks to wheel ahead. One head fake makes another. Federley, end to end, spins back, and he'll cycle it deep. Graham tried to keep it moving. Dawson got in the way. Graham pulls it off the wall. Millette working around Tortorella. Got down deep. Up high it goes to Organ. Back down low once more. Terrain swung and missed at it. Tortorella puts Lockney into the boards. Lockney looking for a penalty. He and Tortorella were battling. Here's Organ with a rip. He scores! Tim Organ right down Main Street has pulled the Prowlers within one. Good job by Millette, finding Organ right in the soft area, and he beats Werber to the glove side, second of the year for Tim Organ. Great look at it there on the reverse angle. Lots of time left to go, and the Prowlers within one. And all their pressure paying off. Prowlers looking for more. Pavlov tried to play it away from Bazal, turned over. Esposito tried to one-hand it back to his defense. And now it's to come as centering feed. It's in the crease. Werber trying to cover, and he does. And now a full-on scrum. Panovanov trying to rip Hakela's helmet off behind the net. Hakela going right back after Panovanov. Linesman separating, then Panovanov dropped his mitts. He's being wrestled by the linesman. We will take a timeout. Prowlers within a goal, and things getting feisty here at McMorran Place. It's 3-2 Indiana.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with a low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money, anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
Back here in Port Huron, looks like offsetting penalties for Artu Hakela and Ivan Panovanov. They'll stay 5 aside. Hockey, Prowlers are on the ice, so grab a glass of Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Proper 12, the official shot of the Port Huron Prowlers. Please drink responsibly. Both sitting in the penalty boxes. Nothing has come down yet on my sheet. See if we can get another look at that scrum that happened. And puck came towards the net. Werber had no idea where it was. It was right in front of him. He couldn't cover. And finally he did. And then Hakela was one of the players digging away. You see him and Panovanov break off from the group. And that wrestling match would continue. The puck right there, and Werber just able to clamp the glove on top. Actually, we have 4-on-4 here. So no power play, but these penalties will affect on-ice manpower. Wide open ice, and a chance for the Prowlers' speedy guys and skill players to tie up this game. They have Millette, Price, Favaro, and Johnson out there. Let's take a look at Everett Thompson on the Sentinels bench, trying to get his team the first sweep in franchise history. Not sure what the delay is here. Luke James is heading over to the penalty box as well. Richard Colarusso is also in the Indiana sin bin. I think they're just serving penalties here. We'll let you know as soon as it all comes down on my penalty sheet exactly what it all is. But for right now, we'll get back to the action. They try and send Craig into the Prowler zone. Craig all the way around the net, and Favaro able to keep him from pulling out in front. Price works up to Favaro. Had to recollect that puck. That stopped the forward momentum, and Indiana takes back over. Tracy, back pass, and Hippolyte Smith's able to skate into. Federley showed Hippolyte Smith his hip, and it's cleared out of the zone. Terrain, indirect pass looking for Elias. He's tied up with Federley. Terrain trying to dig it out. Loose puck, Millette able to collect, and now he'll look to move up ice. Behind his net, Millette hands it to Organ, gets it right back. Millette and Graham get the assist on the goal by Tim Organ, by the way. Here is Organ to the outside, Federley. Millette grips it and rips it, blocked by Elias. 45 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Let's go Prowlers chance, starting from the McMorran faithful. Millette looking for Lockney. Lockhart back up to Lockney, played it to an area. Pavlov got there ahead of Anderson. Now Anderson starts to wheel. Parsons skates into the puck. Parsons to the net, off a stick and up out of play as Tracy got in the way that time. Mobility Remodelers has been locally owned for 25 years and is a proud partner of the Port Huron Prowlers and the presenting sponsor of tonight's game. Go check out their kitchen, bath, and flooring showroom at the Birchwood Mall. Sentinels control off this draw. Pavlov chased by Price. Now it's Colazzo. Pavlov as Hakala and Colarusso, or pardon me, James and Colarusso out of the penalty boxes as they were serving those 2 minutes that were up on the board. James chips it to himself, heads up with Ucell. Ucell has James going to the net. Ucell waits, has to twist it down deep. Both his options were covered. Parsons sidesteps a check, bounces it to James. He has to head back after the puck, tied up with Hippolyte Smith, who sends it all the way down. Lockney looking to spin it back up. Lockney wheeling in, steps around one man, trying to drop it off from Millette, but too many Sentinels in the way. Ponovanov and Hakala, by the way, each got 2 and 10s. Both 2 for roughing, and then Ponovanov 10 for abuse of officials, and Hakala 10 for an unsportsmanlike conduct. That's why those 2 are still in the box. Puck batted down deep in the Prowlers' end. Here's Favaro looking ahead. Has it on Millette's stick, but it's tipped right to Pavlov. Has a player going to the net, and Huber able to make the save. He'll hang going on, under 6 to go in period number 3, and another look at that chance, 2-on-1. Pavlov elected to shoot, and Huber made the stop and clamp the glove on top. Horn and DeCumbus in on this face-off. A nervous Prowlers bench watches. Rimmed all the way up past James. And that's an icing. They'll take it all the way back down. .542 left to go in regulation. Prowlers need a goal to avoid a 6-game losing streak and a sweep for the second straight weekend. They also need one more after that if they're to win the game, but man, do they need a point in the worst way. Prowlers have not seen overtime yet this season. 21 games in and no overtime. I don't know if that's some sort of record. It's probably a record in franchise history, not sure about league history. And they're about to go shorthanded here. Nolan Dawson got high sticked by Tim Morgan. And you see Morgan there getting his stick up high on Dawson. It is just 2 minutes, but it's 2 more minutes that the Sentinels can leak off the clock. Graham and Anderson in on this face-off. We'll see how aggressive the Prowlers are short-handed here. See if they try and take some chances. Don't have a short-handed goal yet this season. Esposito for Terrain. Wrists it on off the back wall. To a side scrum. They dig away. Puck bouncing and bouncing in that corner. Shaheen finally able to settle it down. Clearing attempt ends up on Esposito's stick. Terrain walks in and shoots. It's blocked. Price able to get in the shooting lane. Johnson turns and fires it down ice. He wants a slashing call against Shaheen. He will get an icing call against Indiana, but Alex Johnson upset on the Prowler bench as he cleared that puck and thought he got chopped.
Hey fans, we got another round of t-shirts.
We should be taking our final time out here. I don't know if anybody noticed. And now finally the off-ice officials have noticed, and we will take that final time out here on the PHP Network.
Discover 1195 Gastropub in Marysville. Burgers, pizzas, apps, and pub favorites like filet mignon and grilled salmon. Open Monday to Friday, 4 to 9 p.m., weekends 12 to 9 p.m. Join us for happy hour, Monday to Thursday. Enjoy half-off bottles of wine every Wednesday, and don't miss Thirsty Thursday with $4 draft beers. Great food, cold drinks, good times. That's 1195 Gastropub.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That will be next Friday night when the Prowlers host the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Of course, if you can make it here to the building, we hope to see you out here cheering on the Prowlers as the Bobcats in town for the first time this season. Offensive zone draw for Port Huron. They send out 3 forwards and 1 defenseman short-handed. We asked, how aggressive might the Prowlers be on this PK? There's your answer. 1 defenseman out there while short-handed, but they lose the face-off, and Reggie Millette heads right to the bench in favor of a defender. Up comes Craig, wheeling past Price. Craig had it taken away by Brett Lockhart. Terrain watched by DeCumbus. Got it ahead to Collazo, and now Craig had trouble with the pass, able to get back to it though before DeCumbus got there. Craig slowly up on the right wing side, tried to dangle around Lockhart. That didn't work the second time either, and DeCumbus clears it down. Tracy moves around James. Backhands it ahead. Dawson rims it all the way around. Craig back down deep. Comes to Federley. Able to stick handle away from Dawson and high flip at the length. Final 10 seconds ticking off this Indiana power play, and the Prowlers have to get to work. So the Sentinels play it back to their netminder, Werber. And Oregon out of the box, hustling to the Prowler bench. 5-on-5, 3:17 left to go in a 1-goal game. Wired in. And from his own side of center by Terrain. So that's an icing call. Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off here with 3:12 left to go. Matt Graham has his line out for this face-off. He'll draw it against Lias. Terrain tried to slide it up softly, came out of the zone. Oregon puts it right back in. Graham hustles after it. Terrain rims it up just through Millette. Out comes Collazo. Throws on the brakes, floats it down low, sticked away by Huber. Esposito cycles it deep. Millette the only one there to grab it. Federley slowly up, off to Oregon. He gets in. Millette in the middle, trying to stick handle through a few Sentinels, and the puck escapes the zone. Favaro moves ahead, gets past one or two. Couldn't get past Hippolyte Smith. Johnson backhands it in deep. We'll keep an eye on Bailey Huber here with 2:20 up on the clock. Prowlers need possession before they can even think about pulling him. Johnson gloves the puck down. Anderson one-hands it into Price. He shoots, and a save by Werber. Johnson D-to-D over to Favaro, and Esposito able to get his stick on the pass. Tipped in by Bucell, under 2 to play. Pazika wraps it around. Graham fresh off the bench, keeps it alive. Tried to pull it off the boards. Terrain won the battle. Favaro sends it right back in deep. Terrain just trying to get it out. Karams towards the middle. Terrain off the glass, all the way down, and that will be an icing against the Sentinels. There's the chance for Bobby Price.
We also have some happy birthdays coming out tonight. Happy 84th birthday to Jerry Rexley, and happy 30th birthday to Haley.
Huber still in the net. 96 seconds left to go. And a timeout called here by the Prowlers. They'll try and draw something up here, and we'll see if Huber stays on the bench. They have their top line, Graham Millette and Lockney out there right now, along with Austin Federley and Tim Morgan, and we'll see if a sixth joins them. Port Huron playing from behind here, as they have quite a lot over the past couple of weeks, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak in front of their home crowd. They've been able to lock it down here in the third period, but a couple of goals in the first for Indiana put the Prowlers behind the 8 ball. They're out shooting the Sentinels by 20 right now, 44-24. Huber on the bench. Extra attacker out there, and it's Bobby Price. Alex Johnson taking Tim Organ's spot. The rest of the players that I mentioned moments ago out there as well. Face-off win by Graham. Johnson wrists it, blocked. Dawson softly off the boards and out. Johnson rims it around. Lockney waiting for it on the other side, gets it back down deep. Hippolyte Smith tried to wheel up, couldn't do it. Poked to the line and out. Federley for Johnson. Softly head to Millette. Now Price works in, and whistles blow for offsides. Hippolyte Smith went after Price as he took a shot after the whistle. And a crowd gathers. Minute 6 to go. The Prowlers will have to figure out how to enter the offensive zone before they can start to attack. And empty net still on. See if the Prowlers make any changes here. They do not. Same 6 still out there. And Bobby Price split out wide. Collazo just hit it forward off the faceoff, making the Prowlers chase. Final minute of play. Prowlers need a goal. Johnson bumps it up towards Graham, didn't get all the way there, and Johnson able to block the attempt towards the empty net by Craig, who has 2 goals in the game so far. Federley with a nice move around Collazo. Federley all the way across to Millette. Back to Federley. Wrist shot knocked down by Werber. Millette back on goal. That hit his own man. Johnson able to keep it in. Great sliding play. Here's Millette. Federley, one-timer, whistled wide. Back in front it goes. Federley, diving play, couldn't keep it in. Craig has Johnson to deal with. Craig to the empty net. Didn't get all the way there. Collazo finishes it off. Ashton Collazo finishes it off, and the Sentinels are going to get their first sweep in franchise history. Price was able to block the first one, but Collazo right there to swing it home. And Reggie Millette snapped his stick and threw it into his net. And if that doesn't exemplify the frustration in this Prowlers room right now, I don't know what will. Millette heading off the ice here. And he'll be the first one up to the dressing room. And you see the frustration, disappointment on the Prowler bench. They have dropped 6 straight. The Indiana Sentinels are on a 3-game heater. John Werber is pumped up as Indiana gets its first sweep in franchise history. And the Prowlers left searching for answers. There's again the frustration from Millette. Prowlers salute their fans, and they will have to wait another week for a win to come. Take a timeout. Coming up on the post-game show here on the PHP Network. We will go back through this one goal by goal, show you all the highlights. We'll also talk to our Gunther Graphics player of the game and as well as Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Poland, is see the victorious Sentinels, who will be going home with 6 points. And the Prowlers, more than likely, will not be in second place in their division when they hit the ice again this upcoming Friday. And we will take a timeout and be right back with the post-game show next here on the PHP Network.
Are you sick of asking somebody else to live your own life? I'm Josh with the Franchise Guys. If you're ready to quit your job or build your empire, I'll help you trim down my 800 franchise brand partnerships down to a few that fit you, fit your goals, and fit your budget. With options from senior care to airplane detailing, there's an opportunity for you. Owning a franchise can have up to a 90% success rate. That's better than job security. With the systems and support of a franchise, you won't be making all those costly mistakes as you would if you started your own business from scratch. And with options as low as $6,000 to get your own job-replacing business, there's no better option for you than to book a free call with me and my team. Visit GoFranchiseGuys.com. Stop dreaming about a better life and go live it.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers fall tonight to the Indiana Sentinels by a final of 4-2 is what that should read. The in-arena scoreboard says 5-2. It was 4-2, just one empty net goal. I guess the in-arena scoreboard operator got a little excited and hit a couple goals up for Ashton Colazzo's empty netter, but 4-2 the final. Sentinels take down the Port Huron Prowlers. For the Sentinels, their first sweep in franchise history of a weekend set and a 3-game winning streak. And look out, Indiana is red hot right now. They beat the Watertown Wolves, and then they sweep here against the Port Huron Prowlers, who have now dropped 6 games in a row. They have dropped to 500 at 11-11 for the first time this season, and they are searching for answers in that locker room. And we will get a few answers from Prowlers head coach Matt Graham, as he is our Gunther Graphics player of the game, which we'll talk about in just a few moments. We'll also hear from Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin. Our Molly Urquhart is down there, and she will get interviews with them just as soon as they finish up their post-game meeting up in the locker room. But here on the PHP Network, let's start to go back through this one goal by goal. We'll start all the way back in the first period, and Prowlers had all kinds of pressure early. The first 7 shots of the game, but it only takes one, and Indiana got it on this rip by Colin Tracy, tipped home by Denver Craig, as Craig able to get inside positioning on the Prowlers defenseman in front of Bailey Huber, tips it right at the top of the crease and changes the direction of that shot. And for Craig, able to open the scoring here tonight, as he's been hot against the Prowlers after a goal and an assist last night. That's his first of the game tonight. And then he'd score again later in the period. And this one, a floater from the blue line. I don't know if Bailey Huber just didn't see it, wasn't ready for it. He didn't seem to react until the puck was behind him. And that's a tough one for Bailey Huber to take, as you know, at that point, if you could get a save there and keep it at a 1-0 game, and might get through that first period at 1-0, and maybe this game feels a little bit different, but that felt like a really, really deflating goal to give up for the Prowlers. And Bailey Huber, who had his moments tonight, he stopped a number of breakaways, a few short-handed opportunities, but he was unable to really keep the Prowlers, or give the Prowlers a chance to get in front once the Port Huron offense got going, which it didn't get going until the second period when they were down 3-0. Indiana got a third goal early in the second, and another deflection in front. This one a double deflection. Ethan Esposito in the slot, and then Zach Horn right at the top of the crease. Both got touches on the Ivan Ponovanov shot, and that made it 3-0 Sentinels, a power play goal there for Indiana. But the Prowlers would finally respond a few minutes later, and another shot from the point. This one, Nick Favaro with plenty of traffic in front. Matt Graham, Lucas Lockney right there in front of Werber, along with Colin Tracy. You'll see again on the reverse angle, a seeing eye shot that gets through the traffic, finds the back of the net, and that made it a 3-1 game at that point. And then in the third period, Prowlers were able to cut it to a goal. Great delay by Port Huron up at the blue line, as Millette waited for Organ to step off the bench and work into the offensive zone, and he wired it past Werber's glove. And Tim Organ with a big goal there, and that made it a 1-goal game. And again, you felt like the Prowlers had a chance at that point. They kept pushing. They kept buzzing. To their credit, I mean, 45 shots tonight, as they were absolutely peppering Werber. And John Werber with 43 saves, probably the best player on the ice tonight, I would say, in my opinion, as he picked up another win, his third win in a row, as he has become the workhorse for Indiana. He has started 7 straight Sentinels games, and again, won the last 3. Prowlers ended up pulling their goaltender, Bailey Huber, on the bench as they pushed with the extra attacker, but Ashton Colazzo put home the empty netter, and Port Huron fell in this one by a final of 4-2. And again, the Indiana Sentinels on a 3-game heater, and they have swept a weekend series for the very first time, and it is dead silent here in McMorran Place, despite fans hanging out and waiting for the post-game jersey auction to begin. Dead silence, a stunned crowd here at McMorran Place, a Prowlers team that had championship aspirations coming into the year, that has laid a few eggs in a row and now finds itself middling, obviously still very much in the playoff picture in the Empire Division. It's still relatively early in the season, although we are getting close to the halfway point of the year. They need something to figure out here. They need something to change as a turnaround. It's got to start now because you don't want to fall below 500. The slope is very slippery. Prowlers have already started sliding down that slope. And now at 11-11, and you have teams behind you in the Topeka Scarecrows who have been red hot and have games in hand. You have the Blue Ridge Bobcats who have been red hot and have games in hand. You have the Danbury Hat-Tricks who are very good when they're not playing the Binghamton Black Bears. And they're all looking up at you and licking their chops because they have an opportunity to come up and take your spot, and that's the situation the Prowlers are in right now. Let's take a look at our Gunther Graphics player of the game. It is Matt Graham, who tonight had a couple of assists and a couple of shots on goal as his line helped produce both goals, as Favaro and Organ, the defenseman, ended up getting the goals, but again, his line helping out in creating both of them, as Reggie Millette got the other assist on Tim Organ's goal. Connor Bazal the assist on Nick Favaro's goal along with Graham. Take a look at the final stats from this game, as the Prowlers, again, heavily outshot the Sentinels, 45-25. And you don't typically lose a game when you outshoot a team by that much, but here we are, as the Sentinels did get a power play goal, and the PK wasn't the issue tonight. Power play still remains an issue, but the PK was not the issue here tonight. But Prowlers, again, took some untimely penalties, some undisciplined penalties, a few fewer than we've seen, and there were a few calls tonight that the Prowlers certainly questioned and disagreed with and really didn't like, but that's the game, and you know they were able to kill off most of the Sentinels power plays. But again, it's not as much the special teams tonight. Now it's the 5-on-5, and that's when things get really concerning, when you can't beat a goaltender that is getting 45 shots on him, and you're out shooting the opponent by 20, a team that you think you should be a lot better than, and you're out shooting them heavily, and you can't beat their goaltender more than a couple of times on 45 shots. That's an issue, and I don't know if there's a shooting percentage problem or if they need to get the shooter tutors out and figure out a way to pick corners, find better ways to manufacture high-quality scoring opportunities. What needs to happen? Hopefully we'll get some insight from Prowlers head coach Matt Graham, Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin when they chat with our Molly Urquhart coming up shortly later in this post-game show. But when we come back, we will roll on and take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. It's coming up next here on the PHP Network.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry?
Howies!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Back here at McMorran Place, our Molly Urquhart is standing by with Prowlers head coach Matt Graham, who is our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game.
Molly here, and I am on the ice with Matt Graham. Now, Matt, with these frustrating back-to-back loses, why do you think we're struggling against Indiana so much this season?
Yeah, it's tough. It's it's not simple to pinpoint because it's not just one thing. Last night was a totally different issue than tonight. I thought last night we didn't show up. We didn't compete as hard as we could have. We didn't pay attention to the discipline or the structure that we want to put in place. I thought tonight was a much better effort from the group. Tonight's a night that I think that the effort, the compete level, things like that. We outshot them 2-1. Got to find a way to get the offense going. It's been a struggle for us over the last few weeks here. We'll hone in on it this week. We'll find some ways. We'll get going on it.
And how do you and the team plan to handle things moving forward for these next couple games?
What's that, sorry?
How do you guys plan to handle things moving forward?
Yeah, it's we got to have a lot of compete and practice. We got to get out there. We got to have a lot of details. We got to hone in on the little things. The biggest thing is that the little things are making the biggest difference right now. We gave up 4 breakaways tonight. We gave up 3 or 4 last night, and Paulie said it upstairs. Breakaways are something you give up in every 3 games. Everyone stands up on the bench. It gets exciting. But when we're giving up consistently grade A chances, it's tough to win. You put yourself behind the 8 ball, and then, on most nights when the offense can make up for things like that, we're not in a position right now where it's flowing and the offense is coming. We're in a position right now where it's hard to come by. We got to grind and we got to fight through it. And I think just honing in on that stuff in practice and making sure that we're focused when we start. We're competing at a high level against each other. Will translate well Friday night. We got a big weekend coming up next week. So we gotta have a good week of practice. We got to figure out exactly what we need to do and then go from there.
Thank you so much for your time and good luck next weekend.
And that was our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game, Matt Graham, with our Molly Urquhart. Again, Graham, couple of assists tonight. Let's take a look at what went on outside of these McMorran Place walls around the FPHL with our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. The Twin City Thunderbirds doubled up the Columbus River Dragons by a score of 4-2 in Winston-Salem. Yuri Pastuka scored the only 2 goals of the third period as the Birds earned the split with the Dragons. Black Bears blasted the hat tricks 8-3 in Binghamton as Danbury got a couple late to make that one just a little bit closer than it really was. Nick Swain had 4 goals. Mac Jansen, 2 goals and 2 assists for the Binghamton Black Bears. And Kyle Steffen back for the first time this weekend. He made his season debut last night in Danbury and now his Binghamton debut this season. And he had a goal and an assist for the Black Bears as they continue rolling. They're still playing in Florence, South Carolina, the PD Ice Cats with a 3-2 lead now on the Athens Rock Lobsters. Midway through period 3, Carter Shinkarik had a power play goal in the second that helped pull the Lobsters within 1. All 5 goals in that game have been special teams goals, 4 power play goals, 1 shorthanded goal, and it's a tight one. Again, coming down the stretch in the third. Are also coming down the stretch in the third in Virginia, and things are tight between the Bobcats and the Wolves. Watertown had a 4-1 lead at one point. Justin Daly and Brendan Reller have brought the Cats back within 1. They're under 9 minutes left to go in period 3. It's a 4-3 lead for the Wolves after what was a wild finish last night with both teams scoring in the final minute. Watertown tying it with a goal he pulled, and then the Bobcats winning it in the final seconds. This one should also come down to the wire, and they will play again on Sunday. This is the middle game of a 3-3. Looks like we have Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin stepping up to join us. So we will take a break and get back to the out-of-town scoreboard here in just a moment. We'll send it back down to Molly Urquhart.
Molly here on the ice with Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin. How is the team working through this losing streak, and what needs to change to get a win?
Yeah, I mean, this happens usually at some point in the year where things just don't go right. I mean, yesterday I thought we played a really poor game, and I really liked the response of the group today. I thought as the game, we got better and better as the game went on. There was a lot of things we did at a really high level. Best we've played in the offensive zone probably 3 weeks since the first game in Topeka, I would say. So a lot to build on, but when you're in the stretch, like sometimes things just aren't clicking. Like you get 45 shots and you're having trouble burying the puck. So, we put a heavy emphasis on landing at the net, and then when you do, winning those battles and willing pucks into the net. So that's going to be a big emphasis in practice this week. And then, when you're in this kind of stretch where things just aren't quite clicking and you're playing well but not getting the results. Like today we played well. It was a good game today. Like there's a lot to be happy with, and you come out on the wrong end. The only way to get through that is to stay together. So this is where the group has to get really tight. They're a really close group. You spend time with each other off the ice, and then on Tuesday we talked about it when we get back on the ice. It's going to be a war, and the guys are ready for that challenge. That's the only way to get through these. Unfortunately, these streaks do happen, and if you can get through them, they always make you stronger. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
And that was Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin with his thoughts on tonight's game. Let's get back to our out-of-town scoreboard real quick before we wrap this one up. The Monroe Moccasins pulling away from the Biloxi Breakers. They have a 6-1 lead in Monroe, and they're still playing in the second period. The Topeka Scarecrows and the Baton Rouge Zydeco are tied up at 1 goal apiece. Avery Smith has knotted that one up. They're in the third. The Athens Rock Lobsters have just tied up their game with the PD Ice Cats while Chris Paulin was talking. Garrett Milan, a short-handed goal. And that one's all knotted up with about 5 minutes left to go in period number 3. So that one should be bound for a great finish. Once again, our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. That's going to do it for us here on the PHP Network. So much thanks to go around to our entire crew here tonight. Christian Jackson was our technical director. Zach Dotson was running the graphics tonight, and on the cameras, Kimberly Nelson, Alexander Nelson, and Paul Campbell, along with Aiden Bricker. We want you to tune in next time we're on the air. That will be this Friday night, December the 19th, when the Prowlers host the Blue Ridge Bobcats. We'd like to see you on the air, but we'd also rather see you here in the building. Get your tickets now at phprowlers.com. That will be Teacher Appreciation Night here at McMorran Place. For a frustrated group of Prowlers, I'm Will Wiggleman saying, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time here on the PHP Network.